Hitching a ride, hitching a ride. Gotta get me home to my baby's side. Ride, 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 hitching a ride.
All right, all you Rutger-acks, you're back.
Rutger Maniacs.
Rutger Maniacs. It's time for golan-globus. This is episode 4 or 5 of Rutger month.
4 or 5. It's 4.
4 of 5.
4 of 5. Right.
4 of 5.
Right.
Right off the bat, Murray.
People said it couldn't be done. There was actually a podcast dedicated to Rutger Hauer. It's called Stuck in a Rut. And they had to stop at 3 because they couldn't do it anymore. But we've already surpassed them.
So you would say they got stuck in a rut. Like
Yeah.
they took their name up a
Well,
little too.
Because if you're a mere mortal, it can't be done. There's only so much talk of Rutger Hauer you can do. But we can do it.
Right. I mean, we're the wordsmiths of today. We're the new Shakespeare's.
Right, yeah, exactly.
That's essential.
A little better, but, you know.
I
We
mean,
don't bore you.
We reinvented tragedy. It's true. So
You can understand us when we talk.
that as well. We don't use any of that old English bullshit.
Right.
Except in our letters, because we like the old English D around
and
here.
our tattoos.
And our oh yeah. All right, well, Murray, I gotta eat some crow here real quick. Not hitching a ride, eat crow. The cold turkey's not getting stale, but I fucked up the audio last week, and I feel terrible about it.
Yeah, there was a lot of issues last week.
So
I blame you.
Oh, so many issues, and so here's what's gonna have to happen: if Mel loses the contest, I have to go on the Vat of Acid forum. It's my fault.
No.
It's my fault.
No. Well, as long as somebody goes in the vat of acid. I don't think I told you this, but we even get a lot of heat, no pun intended, about the acid. Like, you guys, I thought these people are your friends you're inviting, and you're going to kill one of them? And I said, yeah, we are. But I got a little, maybe people don't know this. I have a little bit of a heart. It's tiny. It's smaller than the Grinch's.
Oh, okay.
But there's a heart there. So I sweeten the deal, Griff. Whoever gets the most downloads first week gets to do whatever movie they want in the future.
Interesting.
That we didn't already do. We're not redoing fucking the Ginty movie. No.
Okay.
But I'm just sweetening the deal. I have a heart.
Very sweet of you, Murray.
I know.
I see your chest growing a little bit there. You might want to actually get that checked out. Isn't that a large heart a problem?
Yes.
Anyways, we know these episodes have slowly gone 10 to 15 minutes longer with each consecutive movie.
It's just so much to talk about. And this, if you wondered why we're doing Rutger Hauer Month, this movie will prove it to you because fucking amazing, bro.
It's a prime example of why Rutger needs to be showcased.
Exactly. He gives a Rutger-like performance in this. I've never really thought about Rutger Hauer that much until we've watched 4 movies so far in a row.
Yeah.
How the improvisation this guy does.
Amazing.
It is amazing. I'm not even joking around. I'm being serious for once in my life. It's amazing. That's the little things he adds. They're just tiny little things. We pick up on it, of course, because that's what we do. That's why we're the greatest podcast in the world.
It's very true.
And we're going to point it out to you throughout the episodes. But yeah, it's amazing.
And of course, we can't. Our 4 hands combined can't hold the weight of Rutger's balls.
No.
So Murray,
You need
please,
at least 6 hands, though.
without further
Couple
ado.
Rutger ball. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, everybody's favorite Canadian girlfriend, our friend and yours, Mr. Joe Corey. Joe.
Hello. I'm here for Rutger. I need a ride.
Well, hopefully you're not on Route 66 or wherever this takes place. I've been watching so many fucking hitchhiker movies lately. I watched the one with Franco Nero. I got No Country for Old Men. That's kind of a hitchhiker movie.
Is it?
A little bit.
Are you confusing that with just like desert kind of movies?
No, he hitchhikes a little bit in that movie.
Oh, okay. Who would pick up that guy? His
I
bowl
don't
cut?
know. Joe, who you picking up if you spot somebody hitchhiking on the side of the road?
True story. I once passed Bobby Knight walking on the side of the road, and when I was living in Winston-Salem, it turns out he had gotten so pissed off when Indiana lost in the first round. I think it was like the first round of the NCAA tournament. He walked from the from the Joel Coliseum all the way to downtown Winston-Salem, and I drove past him. And I didn't pick him up, so
Well, the question is, why didn't you run him over? Is the question.
I should have. He had that red sweater. It was a target.
I was just gonna say, was he wearing his red sweater vest that he always wore? Oh,
I believe so, if my memory serves me right.
Did he
It was,
throw a chair at your car?
He could have. He could have. It was an old white Ford Escort, so never know. Could have gotten hit. But no. That's I would if I got pull over for one person and one person only, that's always a toughie. But I'll go with my favorite, Stanley Kubrick. If John Waters, I would pull over for John Waters, who does hitchhike.
I was just gonna say that'll
have
work
interesting
out.
Stories.
Yeah, that would work out perfectly. Okay,
Yeah.
I like that.
But I wouldn't pull over for I don't know anybody else. I wouldn't. Zack Snyder. I wouldn't pull over for Zack Snyder. I'm just gonna say it right now.
How about Eli Roth?
I know people who know Eli, so I unfortunately I would have to say, yeah, you're a friend of a friend. I have to pull over and grab you. Come on.
He seems like a decent guy. Just can't make good movies.
You just
can't. Like you could talk to him about movies. I think he'd be cool that way.
Right.
I just don't want to watch his movies.
I could see that. that.
I think I got turned off by that the cannibal movie he made, because I'm sitting there going, wait a second, I've seen this. This is another person's cannibal movie. Come on, you've had 40 years to make a different cannibal movie, and you're giving me the same cannibal movie someone else made.
Were you bummed out that there was no animal mutilation in it though? Because you got to have that in a cannibal movie.
You have to have that distasteful moment where it's like, oh, don't look at the screen, honey. Oh no. Why did I pick this movie of all? When they get that kind of nature footage gone bad.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what you want. That Faces of Death outtake.
Those fucking 70s Italian movies. You've warned me millions of times.
Yeah, I don't watch them. I don't watch the cannibal movies.
And so
that offends me.
In my Nero movie that I watched,
there was animals getting killed in the Nero movie?
Of course there was. There was a couple animals that get killed. There's like someone hunting deer or something.
Oh, okay.
The opening scene is him hunting. So he's got his big old rifle out, like 5 feet away from a camp. It's like a full camp. There's a bunch of people. They were like traveling all together or whatever. And his wife's walking by, and he lines up his wife like he's going to shoot her. And then he goes down and goes, I had you lined up in my sights. I was considering killing you. That's how the fucking movie starts.
Wow.
It was crazy. It was a good movie. I really enjoyed it, but it was fucking nuts. Franco Nero can play a great psychopath.
He's a psycho? I thought David Hess was a psychopath.
Really? Really makes you think, this movie, about who really is a psychopath.
Joe,
anyways, are you talking
have you ever hitchhiked? You're of an older generation than I was, a little older.
No.
Never did, huh?
I shouldn't say. I had my car break down one time and had to ask a guy for a ride at a filling station.
Oh.
That's not quite hitchhiking,
Did he grab your thigh?
No, he just took me to the place. The sad part, this was right before people had cell phones. So it was like I could have taken. That's the thing. Now you have cell phones, so you can take care of stuff,
Yeah.
If your car breaks down, I can call the people and they'll send the truck or whatever and pull me out and stuff. But back then, I had to make a weird, had to go to a weird filling station. And he was like, hold on, I know somebody who can deal with that. And, that's what happens. But, yeah, for the most part, no thumbing. I know people who did, and I just always would say, there's enough creepy people in the world, so why are you going to pick them up? Or worse, they're going to pick you up. So, And I think this is a movie where both sides happen.
Yeah, I think it does.
I think C. Thomas Howell is as creepy as Rutger Hauer.
I would agree with that. But it's also because, I don't know, it reminds me of some of the kids in Near Dark.
Joe, you're the movie expert. What, and Griff and I are gonna guess first. I'm assuming you know the answer to this. What does the C stand for in C. Thomas Howell?
I do believe it's Christopher.
I was gonna guess that.
Yeah.
I don't even know another C name off the top of my head. Craig.
Yeah.
Craig, you mean Craig?
Craig.
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig.
I mean, you got to remember this was a hot time for C. Thomas Howell.
It was
for making disturbing movies, because he did this and Soul Man the same year, 1986.
I've never heard of this one.
Explain Soul Man to Griff.
You've never seen Soul Man?
I don't think so.
Oh my God, it's a brilliant film. It's how he's a rich kid who wants to go to Harvard, but he can't because his dad's cut him off because dad wants to enjoy life. and he's got to figure out how to get enough scholarship money to go to Harvard Law. And he discovers that there's a minority scholarship. And so he overdoses on these tanning pills to turn himself black and take this scholarship and go to Harvard.
No.
Yeah, that was a movie, Griff.
Okay, I gotta watch. I think I might have seen the title for it when I was looking, but my God,
that needs a reboot.
That needs a reboot.
And Spike Lee, this is the best part, because I actually, it's part, because the book I sent you guys that I did, the 80s Teen Flick Festival. Well, I'm doing part 2, the reunion, and Soul Man's in there, and I discovered Spike Lee took a natural hatred to this film without ever seeing it, and would use it any occasion to bash the movie and Ray Dawn Chong the entire time.
Nice.
It was like, she needs to get her sisterhood card taken away and all this other wonderful stuff Spike was saying about her. So, I mean, there was a lot of anger and spite from Spike and other people about Soul Man, which is on DVD. So, it's out there.
I want to hear the director's commentary on that.
Oh,
I was hoping you were going to say Spike Lee finally did see it and then loved it.
That's what I was going that way with it too, and I was so excited to hear that.
I wish so, but yeah, I mean, it's just as freaky, bizarre, and uncomfortable as possible. Although it does predate, because there's a scene where he gets pulled by the cops. Well, he's black, and he gets treated not like he's used to. So there's a lot of there's more going on here than just wacky, kooky comedy. But at the end of it all, there is something just bizarrely uncomfortable about the film, which. And then this film, The Hitcher, also controversial because, as we'll come to later on, characters get torn up pretty bad. So, there was a lot of people who hated the violence of this movie. So C. Thomas Howell, they hated the race and the violence in his films, 2 different films.
Oh,
Joe, that was a seamless segue. I love it. Because that's going to get me right to our trailer. Everybody, next time you see a handsome stranger on the side of the road, keep on moving, because you don't want to pick up the Hitcher.
Canon, the big name in movie entertainment, presents a special preview of some of the great films coming to you on video soon.
Heading west on the long, lonely highway, only his dreams for company, until...
My mother told me never to do this.
Before many miles, he'll wish he'd taken his mom's advice. When Jim Halsey let the Hitcher into his car, he opened the doors of hell.
What do you want?
I want you to stop me. Once you've met the Hitcher, you'll never pick up another.
My wallet's in my pocket. Shut up! We know how to do it. Jesus! Why are you doing this to me?
You're a smart kid. I'll figure it out.
I didn't do it. I didn't do any of it. I'm not a killer. Hold on! This morning, this guy tried to kill me. And he's been following me ever since.
Why didn't he kill us?
Hi, kid. I don't want to die! Yeah!
The terror starts the moment you stop for the Hitcher.
What do you want?
I want you to stop me.
Welcome back. I'm sure there was plenty of horns honking in that trailer, trucks nearly avoiding each other, and we got our boy Jim. Just see Nelson Riley. What is his name?
See Thomas Howell.
See Thomas Howell.
Charles, you know what? Charles Nelson Riley would have been fantastic in this film as the Hitcher. I'm just saying it.
Look, I've been watching the match game. I can't help it. But anyways, we got a guy who can't stay awake here because he doesn't have C. Nelson Riley with
He's out
him.
in West Texas, the middle of nowhere.
Oh my God!
Nothing to see. No McDonald's. No exciting things to see.
If you've ever been to Texas or you've ever talked to a Texan, we can confirm this with lycanthropist Chris. I did it. There is like cities and then nothing for hundreds of miles in Texas, and that's what Jim is in the midst of.
Right. He is transferring a car from Chicago to San Diego.
So, Jim, Joe, you actually pondered this all out because you're like, why is he in Texas if he's going to San Diego?
Right. I mean, there's one cut you can actually take that's pretty easy, and that's the you leave Chicago, home of Mike Vanderbilt, and you're going down 80 east, then you cut over to 76, Interstate 76. Then you do 70, and then you cut down 15, Interstate 15, and that takes you to San Diego, and you're basically going, I believe, through Denver to get that way. Whereas,
wonderful.
But I guess for some reason he wanted to take a different turn, and it's 29 hours. Now, according to this, if you go through the Panhandle of Texas route, which basically it's 55 down to St. Louis, 44, you pick up 40 in Oklahoma City, and then you cut through the Panhandle, and then you cut to Phoenix on the Interstate 8, and then you cut down to San Diego. That's an extra 2 hours on your trip. So, I mean, he must have, and I'm not even sure if he took an interstate because it looks pretty, those roads look pretty non-federally funded. He was I mean, for a guy who's tired, he could have cut all this hours off of his trip and gotten to the hotel faster.
Right.
But no.
And my other problem with it, if it's the thrill of the adventure, why is he not taking a little break to sleep? You can't be a safe driver if you're a tired driver.
Yeah. I mean, he's missing out on a lot of lot lizard action too by not stopping at truck stops.
Yeah.
I mean, he's into danger, so a lot lizard might be right up his alley.
I mean, he's doing what his mama told him not to do.
He's doing everything his mom told him not to do, and
good
mothers tell their children not to fuck lot lizards.
Yeah, and and I think, and here's another problem I have at the opening because he lights. You see where he's smoking, right? It's a heavy smoking film, and he uses a match to light his cigarette. So you get that wonderful flare, from the matches, and you can see him light up. But he's in that car in the 80s. He's got a working cigarette lighter in that dashboard. He should have used it. He's there's no need to use a match in a. That's dangerous in a car, because whatever. But he could have used the cigarette lighter. But he had to look a little cooler than usual.
Everyone's got to look
cooler. The
guy
he's delivering the car said, "Do not touch my lighter."
That could have been it.
That could have been it.
Yeah.
All the cars I had that were like established or made in the late 80s, early 90s, the cigarette lighters would always break like instantly. So I never had one that worked.
Could have been a broken one. Yeah.
It could have been broken.
So he's driving out in the desert when he gets dusted by a VW bug, which is, how slow is he driving that a VW bug like dusts him?
He must have drifted off or something.
You know what my theory is? Who's in that VW bug?
Who?
Jack Torrance from The Shining.
Oh.
He's going to the Overlook. Wasn't that in Denver? The Overlook.
That's in Denver.
Oh, that's in Colorado. So he's going the other way, I'm guessing.
Yeah, he's trying to get by him to start heading up north.
Yeah. He's got the wife, the kids, and the ghosts.
And you're trying to pick up Stanley Kubrick. Everything just kind of comes together like that.
Love it when a plan comes together. So he's like we said, he's tired. He's been driving all of like 8-9 hours.
He's got like a Campbell's soup thermos of coffee that he's sipping at. It was like perfect.
It actually was a Nestea.
It was like ribbed. It was weird looking, like a soup can.
I found it weird he didn't get a Jolt soda.
Hey, I got in a lot of trouble when I snuck up to the liquor store by me and bought a Jolt soda when I was like 8 or 9.
Oh.
I was like trying to hide it under my shirt and everything, and yeah, Mom saw that and was not happy.
What, were you stealing it? Yeah.
No, I bought it.
Why
But she didn't want me drinking a highly caffeinated drink at 8 years old.
Oh.
You're going to become a junkie at that point. You know that.
So anyway,
now they have Red Bull nurseries. That's,
Oh my
that's how
God.
we've changed.
yeah, exactly. Those colas can't hold a candle to all can't hold a matchbook to all these new highly caffeinated drinks we have.
Oh,
But
yeah.
let's get
So
back
he's
to our
like,
rating
he's
night.
drowsy. He's like, I can't stop. Because apparently, does he have a deadline for this? Does he have to get to
They
San
never
Diego?
brought it up, but it would have helped to have something pushing him along,
Yeah.
like
He
some
just
kind of
can't wait
deadline.
to get to lovely San Diego.
Lovely San Diego.
I think normally there used to be deadlines on those things just because you didn't have a cell phone, so they couldn't just track you to figure out where the heck you were.
Oh, right.
So, I'm guessing if you didn't show up within 2 hours of your deadline, they called the highway patrol on your ass.
That could be it.
I'm going to say he had a Padres game, like tickets to that. So he had to get there.
That would be something I would do.
And so he's like, hey, there's a hitchhiker on the side of the road. He'll keep me company. He'll keep me away. Conversation.
Gotta have conversation. There's no Stanley Kubricks around, or Eli Roth, so let's just pick up this guy.
And lo and behold, it's fucking our man Rutger.
Oh man, and he gets in, and Rutger is a fucking large ass man. His hair. Let's talk about his hair because we've had to talk about his hair in every movie so far.
Best so far.
Best so far, Joe.
Yes.
Okay.
That was just natural Rutger. He could have been pro wrestling with that hair. It was so good.
Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't even need him to have rock star hair.
Imagine
He just
how
looks so
blood
good.
would just shine off that blonde hair.
We got to see it in Wedlock. We got to see how good the blood looks in his hair and his face.
Don't remind me of Wedlock.
Okay.
And so this is the one. Well, there's many things I love about this movie, but one thing I love is he's fucking batshit crazy from the jump. He doesn't even try to appear normal.
Oh,
He's
no.
like, he's dripping wet. He's fucking shaking his head like a dog, and he's like, "Okay, where do you want to go?" No cells. It doesn't say anything.
He just sneezes, and then Jim says, bless you. And where am I taking you? And he just goes, I'm getting your seat wet. And just like completely ignores Jim. I love it. It's so creepy. But Jim is just like beaming. He's just like, yeah, this weird guy's in my car now.
He's a little creeped out, but he's like, hey, I got to stay up. So, what's the worst that can happen? He's picked up a guy in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
What's the worst that can happen?
Well, it's like my feeling is he's excited because he just basically picked up Rutger Hauer from the final scene in Blade Runner.
Yeah.
There he is, all soaked with the rain.
Yep.
Looking like a madman, probably telling me like tears in the rain, kind of thing. And now he's he's in his car, and he's as crazy as he always is.
He was holding a dove as well. So yes, it was.
Yeah. And he had a duster on for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
You're in the desert. You gotta have a duster.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
dusty.
Yeah. I don't know why I didn't put that together.
So they're driving, and then they notice that.
Well, the first thing, it's hard to kind of remember because this is a thrilling movie, it's a thriller, and it's just trying to creep you out. So there's long silences, and again, Jim is trying to get answers out of Ryder.
John Ryder.
He actually gives him his name. He tells him, I'm Jim Ryder, or John Ryder. Fucking Christ, these J names, man. So then after he tells him his name, he's like, can I get a cigarette? And he lights it up. And then he
Did he light it with a match, or did he light it with a cigarette?
You know what?
Lighter.
I didn't notice, but I'm guessing he used a match.
I think he just had it dangling out his mouth. I don't think he even lit it.
He always had matches. Oh, maybe not.
Yeah.
Anyways.
A little wet.
But he's doing this. Rutger is doing this thing now where he's kind of leaned his back and turning to just stare. He's just staring at Jim driving the car. And if there's 100 different scenes that are just utterly creepy in this movie. 1 to 10, how creepy for each of you?
This scene, 9.
9, okay.
Yeah, it's up there 9 or 10. I mean, you just picked a guy up, and he's immediately creepy. He didn't even, like I said, he doesn't even try to appear normal.
No.
Yeah, creepy. I'd be like, immediately get out. But Jim sticks with it. He's just like, maybe he's maybe he's developmentally challenged. I don't know. I don't want us to be offensive. I'm gonna drive this guy where he needs to go.
Right. I mean, Jim does ask him, "Can you stop staring at me like that?" And I think Rutger at that point was just like, "Huh." Sits back upright, but then what does he do here? He like thrusts the car forward.
What happens is they see that Volkswagen Bug that passed him by is on the side of the road now.
And Jim was curious.
Jim's like,
it.
"Yeah, I want to help these." We just saw he likes to help people. He helped the fucking Ryder.
Yeah.
So he's about to stop, and then Ryder presses his leg on the accelerator. So
what happens if you pick up two murderous hitchhikers?
That's what happens. That's what an abandoned car is. It's a murderer picks up a murderer. That's what abandoned cars are.
Okay.
You didn't know that?
No.
They just cancel each other out.
Right. That's the
Or they flip a coin.
Yeah, there we go. They draw, like in the old West movies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, yeah, he cops a feel on young Jim's leg and accelerates the car so it goes past.
That's okay.
And he's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, just no sells it. Doesn't do anything.
Nothing.
Keep driving. And then
A little further down the road, Jim stops the car. And
he's had enough.
Yeah, he's like, "You need to get out." And so Rutger opens the door. It's still pouring. He's got his cigarette. It was like half gone, so he did light it up at some point.
Okay.
And he just kind of like slowly stirs it in his fingers and then drops it, closes the door, sits back upright, and says, "No, you're going to drive. I'm going to sit here," something like that.
Exactly it. And then Jim, he's like, "Well, what was up with that car? Like, why didn't you want me to stop?" He's like, "I just need some gas." I guess Ryder implies that was his car, the VW Bug.
Yeah.
He's like, "I just need some gas."
Yeah, Jim has moved on pretty quickly from that creep show that just happened a minute ago. And so he's like, "Was that your car back there?" "Yeah." "Sure." "Was it out of gas?" And then doesn't he just go...
He goes, "I need cigarettes."
He just goes like, "Gas? That's it. Your car's out of gas. We'll go to the gas station."
Yeah.
And then Rutger's just like, "Gas stations have cigarettes." Like he is Dougie Jones from Twin Peaks Season 3 has just reemerged on Earth.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I said, he thinks he's developmentally challenged or something.
Yeah.
You don't know. He's autistic. We didn't know. Rain Man came out 2 years later, so we didn't know about autism at the time. But he could clearly be autistic.
Or he just loves cigarettes because it's a smoking film, as I said.
Yeah.
So Jim's like, yeah, he's just trying to make sense of all of this. He's like, "Gas, yes, gasoline. You need to go to a gas station." And then Rutger just throws out this line, "Funny. That's what that guy said." He's like, What guy?" He's like, "The guy back there, I chopped his legs off.
Yeah.
And then I chopped his arms off.
Well,
And then I chopped his head off." And Jim is he's kind of creeped out by that.
I'm amazed. I'm amazed at how clean Rutger looks after all that, chopping off that guy up.
It was raining.
It was, but that amount of blood normally stays on you a bit because it's kind of gooey. Not that I would know.
Oh yeah, really. You saw Bobby Knight and you didn't murder him? I'm starting to think different.
No.
And so, just as he blaze that bombshell on him, we see there's a construction site. I've never had construction people want to talk to me.
Never. And they're very conversational.
And they're doing it in the middle of the night. They're doing construction in a rainstorm in the middle of the night.
I was impressed by the rainstorm. I think construction crews would like doing it at night because you don't have that sun beating on you. That drains you because you do all the
What are you
construction
can you do road work in a fucking torrential rain?
No, that's what I was saying. Is that no, the rain doesn't make sense because if you're trying to pour cement and everything, you can't do that with rain.
Oh,
yeah, they would normally scrap it at that point.
Yeah.
Right. But apparently the fucking infrastructure bill got through, so they're like, we got to get this road in the middle of nowhere redone.
They got to spend the money now before some other party gets back in charge and rescinds that money.
Right. So the very chatty construction guy, like usually they just like wave you through. No, he has to stop and talk.
Yeah.
Like it's a roadblock or some shit.
He can't wait to have a conversation. He gets in there. He's like one of those drive-in, attendants where he's like leaning his elbow on the window like, "Hey, where are you guys going?" notices immediately that Joe has Joe, god damn it, Jim has a Chicago accent, and he's just like, I know that accent.
He recognizes the plate, not the accent.
Plate.
No accent.
All right, I will.
Thomas Howell. He was calling the games with Harry Carey.
The C stands for Chicago, actually.
Yep.
Chicago Thomas Howell. And so, while this is going on, Rutger has a switchblade to poor Jim's balls. He's just all up in his crotch.
Mm-hmm.
And, the construction guy can't help but notice that. This guy is like leaning over, cupping this young man's balls.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you're those types.
Mm-hmm.
Keep moving. Like, he was all ready to get in a conversation. And he's like, no, I don't want to talk to you types. Keep moving.
The rough trade express. It's coming through.
We're right in the middle of the AIDS epidemic too, aren't we?
Yeah.
86. So he's
pretty much.
Yeah, you're right. Because he's like, can I get AIDS from touching this fucking car? Like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's just being cautious.
And he wanted a cigarette too, but he was like, "Oh, never mind. You could take that. You could take that cigarette back." He probably used the English terminology for a cigarette there, but we'll just allow that to go under the radar here.
So they go on through the roadblock/construction site, and then Ryder's feeling a little frisky, pulls out that switchblade, starts pressing it against Jim's face.
Mm-hmm.
And Jim's like, what the fuck? Just let me go. And he's like, I want you to say 4 words.
Oh, before that, he's like putting it to his eyeball and asks him, hey, have you ever seen an eyeball get punctured? Do you know like what happens? You ever think about that? I like thinking about that kind of thing. And just waving that knife acting through the roof.
Yes.
Oh.
And then he goes, I want you to say 4 words. Say, I want to die. And he's like, well, I don't want to die. I can't say that. I can't tell a lie. Just say, I want to die. And as he's saying that, Jim knows this is very high tech at the time, Griff. There was a little light up that said door ajar. He notices that Ryder did not shut the door properly. Maybe the seatbelt got stuck in there.
It's got to be
because nobody's wearing seatbelts in this movie.
It's back when those doors were hard to shut, man. You had to really fight them to get them to lock.
I was driving. My sister had a fucking 1980 Grand Prix. We hit a curve so hard the door flew open while I was fucking in the car.
Oh,
yeah, they were hard. Yeah,
I like this.
So yes, I can attest to that. I've experienced what Ryder experiences.
There was a brilliant shot where they actually showed Rutger like closing the door after he did his whole like little bit when he was going to get out, and then he goes, "No, you're going to drive." Where you actually see the light pop up too.
Yeah, right,
so it was so good. It was subtle, but then that thing is on the dash in between them, and they're both looking right at it. So it's like, man, Rutger really just didn't want to read it, or he just loves his games.
Yeah.
That's got to be.
We learned that he doesn't really want to live. I mean, he's just like, he's so nihilistic. He doesn't give a fuck about anything.
That's true.
Rutger would have noticed it if he'd used the cigarette lighter in the dashboard.
Yeah, you're
There
right.
we go. There we go.
Right. And so Jim's like, I don't want to die, and then he just fucking kicks Ryder right out of the car.
He manages to keep the car straight during this whole thing too. It's very impressive.
And Ryder goes tumbling, and he's like, fuck yeah, woo, I did it. Takes off, eat my dust, motherfucker.
The celebration here was fantastic. There might have been some Stanley Kubrick directing going on where they like stuck this kid in the car with Rutger for like 14 hours straight. So he really was getting a little claustrophobic with Rutger towering over him, telling him about whatever the fuck Rutger would tell you about. Because his enthusiasm here is very real.
The tulip harvest. Probably a lot talked about the tulip harvest as a young child. as a young child in Holland, he would have to go harvest the tulips every year with his parents.
Oh. Is he from?
He's Dutch.
Oh,
He's
okay.
Dutch. Wait, you guys haven't been talking the Dutch part. Oh, we haven't talked much of the Dutch part. Yeah.
I didn't even know he was Dutch until today.
Yep, he is Dutch, and actually he got his big break working in films with Paul Verhoeven before he came to our country and graced us with RoboCop and Showgirls.
Well, wait, Is that real? The guy
Yeah.
who did RoboCop did Showgirls?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, he did that. And I went to, I think it was one of the international studies classes I took, film classes I took. We saw, was it Turkish Delight, one of Rutger's first films, which is kind of a creepy, seductive comedy kind of thing. It's European. What can you say? So yeah, Rutger was a big star before he did this World War II action film with Verhoeven, Soldiers of Orange, about the 3 days the Dutch army were very daring. So so yeah, Paul Verhoeven, Rutger Hauer, homeboys with Jan de Bont. So
So like, free and clear. I gotta give Ryder credit. He did wake up, Jim. Jim's bright-eyed and bushy-tailed now from the experience of almost dying.
This is
So
very
you
true.
can't be too harsh on Ryder.
Right.
that always happens. So if you ever have a really weird, you're feeling kind of tired, and then something freaky happens on the road, or you take a weird detour, your adrenaline pumps you up for the next hour.
Oh my God, yes it does.
We had that happen one time. We were like going to Boston. It was the College Bowl team for NC State, and we are going to play. I think it was at MIT. There was some tournament thing, and the original plan was we'll cut through New York City, cut across the George Washington Expressway, and we'll grab the first hotel after we get through New York City. And somehow we discovered they had closed the Cross Bronx Expressway, and this is the late '80s, and they detoured us through Harlem. And it was weird sights all the way to get through Manhattan. And
Right.
we were so free. It was, a bunch of us in a red car. And we're like, oh, God, we're just victims. We're just victims here. And by the time we got back on the interstate, we were also fried up. We just kept going until we hit Rhode Island before we got a hotel.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's rough. Those night drives. Ugh.
So I relate with C. Thomas here, or Jim.
So Jim's wide awake and he's driving down the road and he sees this beautiful bucolic family. They got the boat. They're living the American dream, Griff. They got the boat. They got the kids shooting the little BB guns.
Yeah,
or
they
squirt
got
guns.
They got what? Don't they call those the suicide seats? The station wagon with the seats that face out the back. Thought that's what they call that seat. I don't know. Whatever. But the kids are
They're
leaving
having
out.
great all the time, and so is Jim. He's like, these beautiful children, this beautiful family. He's like playing around, making hand gestures like he's
Yeah.
shooting a gun.
Pew! He's doing pew noises.
And he's doing pew noises. And then we see a teddy bear. And it just pulls away. And it's fucking Ryder. It's not like he got ahead of fucking Jim. Maybe Jim stopped and slept for a couple hours. I don't know. Timeline's very vague in this movie. It's day, night, night, day. It just changes.
There's so much as we get further along to discuss about how these things happen, but how?
There's some kind of supernatural element coming. We were discussing this before we recorded. It might be a Fight Club thing. This might be all in Jim's head. Like, Ryder doesn't exist. He's an extension of his, like, psychosis. I don't know. But he's like, holy shit. So he tries to warn us. He's a good human being. He tries to warn these people.
Yeah.
So he drives up alongside of a 2-lane highway. And he's like, fucking crazy guy with you. And they're like, oh, I can't hear you. What? And like Rutger's chewing the scenery. He's like fondling this kid. And
He has made such good company with his young family that he's got his arms around both the kids. He's like, shoot him in the eyeballs. And then he's going over and rustling the little girl's hair. And then he pulls her in and kisses her on the head.
Right, so he can be endearing. I don't know why he immediately got freaky on Jim, but he can be endearing and loving to people. Because why would a family pick this fucking guy up? He's probably like bleeding from being thrown out of the car.
Yeah, you think you'd have a fresh cut or two on you. Maybe he was just having a dick fit before, and now he's like sated, so he's like, I'm good. Yeah.
I mean, how does a family with a boat pick up a guy? I mean, I don't get that. You're like, hey, honey, we got the kids, we got this, we got our boat. And where were they going with their boat? Because it's all desert, right?
That's a good point.
You think you'd make the hitchhiker be in the boat or something.
I was expecting him to pop out of the boat.
Well, I mean, he is kind of, when you think about it, he is like the shark from Jaws in this movie, and that he just pops up out of nowhere and then disappears again. He does something freaky and then disappears. He's not the star of this movie, really. It is C. Thomas Howell's movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, he steals the movie. But yeah, I mean, he's just like this threat that just lurks.
Oh, man. It's so close to being a really good Jaws comparison, but Rutger's not dead behind those beautiful blue eyes.
No, he doesn't have doll's eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got beautiful blue eyes. And so he's like, there's a fucking killer in your car. And like, what? I can't hear you. And then, what he said, it's a 2-lane road. So there's a bus or a truck coming opposite way. He sees it the last second, clips the fucking bus, totals the fucking bumper of this car this brand new car he's delivering.
Yeah.
And like, I was shocked the bus actually stopped. Usually in movies, when you have a near like collision with a bus or truck, they just keep going.
They just keep going.
Even if they hit something, they just keep going.
Station wagon kept going though.
Yeah, that kept going because they thought he was the crazy one. They didn't think that like Rutger was.
That's true.
Because maybe he is the crazy one, and Rutger doesn't exist. He's not even on that car. In that car,
man.
I'm just saying there might be some Fight Club shit going on here.
That's and here's the other thing. Jim just lost his deliver in mint shape bonus.
That's true.
Getting that bus like he did. So, he's screwed now. He's not going to get his money.
I mean, he got a free ride out of it. So unless he has to pay for it, I don't think he cares that much.
So,
well, no, you're supposed to get paid for it too.
Right. But,
yeah, but who knows? Because Jim doesn't even talk about needing money. So, probably know he's a rich kid who does this for just kicks.
Yeah, I think he might be.
So he's like, hey, I did my best. I tried to warn these people. They're on their own. So he just continues on his drive. He takes off. He doesn't even stop for the bus. He's just like,
no,
I'm out of here.
He catches his breath and he heads back down the road.
And he's driving, and then he sees that car with the boat right on the side of the road.
Oh, and I feel his heartbeat just through the screen and everything.
He stops, pulls over, opens a door. Blood like pours out of the car.
Yeah, we're just looking at his shoes.
There's a lot. People go on about violent and gory movies. It's not. There's a lot of it's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There's a lot to your imagination. You think there's more gore in this movie than there is. There's really not.
Yeah.
But so he sees like this family obviously has been mutilated by Ryder. So he runs to his car. He takes the time to not vomit in the car. He's like, I don't want to have to clean that up.
Yeah.
I already ripped off the bumper. So he vomits outside the car, and
nice,
he's like,
chunky Campbell soup.
And he's like, I gotta just get the fuck out of here. I gotta find. We gotta find a phone. I think he's gonna call.
Yeah, he was looking for somewhere to stop and somewhere to call. And again, we're playing really into where the fuck is he? How is it that whenever he needs something, he drives or walks 5 minutes and there it is for him?
Yes. And it's always a gas station.
Always abandoned. Like, are we not getting completely creeped out by that, or is that just fly over because we're looking for Ryder here?
I think it's just Texas.
That's just Texas. Okay.
It's just Texas.
I like it.
Because all the people who used to go to that gas station, they're on the better highway. That's my feeling. They're on the fast track, whereas Jim's on the old windy road.
Oh, okay.
He wants that ambiance or something like that. It's
right. He wants the American adventure
of staring at nothing and getting chased by a psychopath with a switchblade.
As we were saying, everything that needs to be in front of him is right in front of him. So he pulls up. There's a nice little gas station. I mean, we're assuming these are like
a dust storm kicks up too. So there's dust everywhere.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a duster, so he's in bad shape.
He's in bad shape. But just as we were saying, whenever he needs something, it's right there for him. And of course, they're supposedly hundreds of miles apart, so it's a gas station, restaurant, a mechanic shop, and everything. It's all in one. So he pulls up in there, and is this the one where it was just like complete? It was the dust storm. It was
totally abandoned. It was been for years, and so he finds a phone, doesn't work, and he turns around to leave, and Ryder's standing there holding his car keys.
Yeah,
and he just throws them to him and then walks out. Mind games upon mind games, bro.
Yeah.
So he's just like freaked out, but he's like, "Whoa, fuck! I don't like what's going on. Like, what is this? Like, what I appreciate about this movie is that this is like a nice, tight, little over 90-minute movie. If this was made nowadays, there'd be some kind of connection between these two. Like Ryder's the father of fucking Jim. He got like taken from him and put it up for adoption. And then we need an hour of backstory about Ryder. No, this is nice, tight, clean. Ryder's just an evil psychopath. That's all you need to know.
That's it. I mean, backstory. You know what? You know what? You get everybody does it now, and it's like let's make Willy Wonka's childhood look so bad. Remember the stupid Johnny Depp one?
No, we never saw.
Oh, well, good thing you didn't see it. But I was like, I ended up enduring it, and I was just like, this is horrifyingly bad. And by the way, the backstory ripped it off. Doctor, oh god, damn it! Now I gotta look it up. Jim Varney did this movie where he's Doctor Gloom, something Doctor in the Riddle of the Gloom Beam. But they ripped off the entire backstory from that movie for Tim Burton's film.
Jeez.
Okay, now I have to look up the damn Jim Varney movie.
You're ripping off Ernest. You know
Yeah.
it ain't gonna be a good movie.
Yeah, Riddle.
So, well, when you hear, you find out, let us know. We can move on.
Dr. Otto and the Riddle of the Gloom Beam.
Oh, gee, that does not sound like a real movie. It sounds very Dutch.
You know what? Here's the deal. Okay, when I was working at the School of the Arts, we took over NFS, the people who used to do film distribution across the country, the ones who got the films, put them on reels, and mailed them, shipped them to all the different theaters. I kid you not, we had 300 copies of this film in 35 millimeter that showed up on trucks. It was so unloved.
Yeah.
Poor
Oh.
movie. You know what
But
I mean?
it's the better. It's the better of the two stories, apparently.
It is. Jim Varney, anything he touched was gold.
You know what I mean, Vern?
Yep.
So he just walks away from Jim, and he's just like, Jim's like, what the fuck? Runs to his car.
Jim's selling it really well, gotta say. His facial expressions here are great. He's got that gross ass hair I don't want to look at, but you know what? Working for his expressionless face here. I love it. I'm loving this.
Gets in the car, keeps on driving. And
Well, we got to mention that he sees Rutger leaving because Rutger gets in a truck, which was like a total fucking. I don't know how to explain this truck, but it had the giant exhaust pipe on the top and everything. But it looked like it was an old lady driving it.
it was like a fucking Fury Road car.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like the car. It looks like the Fall Guys truck.
Okay.
Lee Majors, the Fall Guy. That's where that truck style looked like to me.
Okay. But go ahead.
Oh, it had the big roll bar and the lamp lights on it and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was. Why are these people just picking up randomly Rutger Hauer? It's like
He's so handsome. Those beautiful blue eyes. Not like a doll's eyes.
Not like a
They're
doll's
beautiful eyes. And so you can't help it.
Well, that and you got that song. Everyone's really into it. The Who's Behind Blue Eyes, and they want to know what's behind those blue eyes.
Psychosis, apparently.
The psychosis.
Because yes, he gets picked off. He takes off, and then Jim just wipes the sweat off his brow. He's like,
yeah, he yells for the lady at first. He's like, "Hey, you got a psycho."
And then he's like, "No, you can deal with him."
I guess I can't do much for this.
So he gets back on the road. Couple minutes, and then he just gets rammed from behind.
Right when he was trying to drink a sip of that hot coffee, still hot because he's got that Campbell's soup can thermos. It's gonna keep it hot forever.
Mm-hmm.
On his crotch.
Oh, that's the worst.
It's fucking Rutger. He's commandeered the Fury Road truck, and he's just slamming and just toying with this kid. Fucking brutal, dude.
So we got a nice little scene where he looks back there. He sees Rutger. He's startled again. He's like, "Oh my god, this guy's back on me!" And then we see Rutger pull the Roadrunner, just veer off the road, and in a cloud of dust, he is gone.
Yes.
He is gone.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking this is a figment of the psychotic kid's imagination.
Right, because it's like, what the fuck is Ryder? What is he?
I don't know. And I don't think we'll ever learn because we're not watching a modern movie. If we were watching a movie made in 2021, we'd know everything about Ryder.
We would know way too much. We would know where he went to school. We would know where he dropped out of. We would know the first girl he finger banged. We know all that. The first bridge he went under.
Like you said, Griff, whenever he needs a gas station appears for young Jim.
Yeah.
So another one appears, and this one's got like a diner at. I guess tons of truck stops on this vacant, lonely road. He figured truckers would do the interstate, but they like to do the back roads as well. And he goes up. It's locked. It's another abandoned gas station.
Another one.
And he sees a phone in there. He's like, I got to get in there to talk to somebody.
So I guess he was going back. Was he going to break the window or something?
He
Because
found like an open door somewhere.
yeah, he got in through one door, then he got in through a second door, but it was like he couldn't get past the one door to get into like the shop where the phone was. So he's like going back out to his car to get something. Maybe he was getting a tire iron to break the window or something.
I don't know, because what happens is Rutger inside the garage with the fucking Fury Road vehicle bursts through. He's the Morton rider. And he starts fucking driving over fucking gas pumps. This apparently wasn't abandoned because they're functioning gas pumps. I got to assume he got there and killed everybody and locked the place up.
Another incredible question. Why is there all these not abandoned gas stations? Why is it a ghost town? Joe.
My guess is on this one, they went cheap, only had one person working on duty, and Rutger killed him. And that was it. And as you said, locked up the place, or, locked up the parts he didn't want to, let the little boy in, and planted, sat there ready for his big exit in the garage.
Or they had one guy working there. He had Vinny's for lunch, and he's just destroying the bathroom. He has no idea what's going on. He walks out, everything's fucking run over. So Jim is like sprawled on the pavement, covered in gasoline.
Oh yeah, he's taking a nice gas bath.
Rutger like stops like inches away from his head.
And we see him doing this maneuver again. We saw him do it when he poked his head out of the car when he acted like he was going to get out with a cigarette, and he was just kind of twisting the cigarette in his hand. Now he's just got a strike anywhere match. What happened to strike anywhere matches? I can't find them anywhere. Of course I want them. Of course I want to do the cowboy thing where I bust one out and flick it on my tooth. Like, what if I show up to Mike's wedding and, some people are trying to enjoy some marijuana, and I go, here you go. Enjoy that on me.
We'll go to the internet and see if we can find some.
We used to have them in lab. When I took chemistry lab, we had strike anywhere matches.
Great. I want them back. What if that would save?
I strike them off my fly.
That would save middle America. If we just started manufacturing strike anywhere matches in the USA again, sell them. I love it. It's a great idea. I'm buying a factory. I'm opening that up.
You should, you should call Jeff Daniels because he does all those "Come Bring Your Business to Michigan" ads.
That's true.
And see if he'll set you up because you're already there.
I have his autograph. I'm pretty much one of his best friends, so this is easy. This is real easy. I like this idea. I didn't think about him in that light, but if he's into
another guy who destroyed a toilet too, so it all comes back.
Man, he's a man who needs a struck match in his life.
He really does, yeah.
Rutger Hauer lights this match and just nonchalantly drops it right on that fucking gasoline.
And we get a nice slow-mo of Jim running back to his car, gets into it just in time, man. It's not going to do the horror movie thing where it won't start up, and it starts right up. He gets right out of there. Whole fucking cool-ass explosion and everything. Right. Very cool.
Well, he doesn't he's now unscathed because his car's on fire as he drives away.
Yes.
My favorite part is he's rolling his window up.
Wait, don't want to get incinerated.
It's like, move, drive. Don't roll up your window. Don't worry about the window.
He's still worried about getting this car back in one piece. He's already lost the rear bumper. He's like, I don't want it. Get scorched. I don't want the interior, the leather to get scorched.
Right.
Yeah.
So it looks like fucking Ghost Rider commandeered his fucking car. It's on flames. But he's going fast enough that they go out. And he's just like, oh.
Apparently, yeah. And this is where we get our first cutaway in this movie. Like, it's been at a very even pace so far, and the first time we're just cutting to a whole new person. Bus rolls up, and it's like, where is this bus? Why is this bus traveling 5,000 miles in between all of Texas?
Does Texas only have gas stations? That's what I'm wondering.
Yes.
Another gas station.
Just another random gas station in the middle of nowhere / restaurant. Yeah. And we got Nash, a new character. Nash is not like Kevin Nash, but she does have some great hair. Yes. Like Kevin Nash's hair.
Played by Jennifer Jason Leigh. We all remember from Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Was she the girl with the boobs?
No.
No. She was the girl who got pregnant by Damone.
Yeah. I don't remember these characters.
Oh. She was naked a lot. But not the one in the swimming pool.
Okay. That's the only thing I know because they fucking put it on commercials nowadays.
Yeah. So yeah, she works at this gas station, Griff.
Yeah, the little diner.
So she opens up. Her brother owns it. Her uncle works there.
Yeah. Whole family business.
So she goes in. She's like, it's like 45 minutes before opening. So she's just preparing everything.
Yep.
And
She's
then,
smart. She immediately locks the door behind her.
Right. And then Jim rolls up and he's banging on the door. Very rude. He's like, I need to use your fucking phone. And she's like, we're not open yet.
45 minutes.
And
this is it, Murray. This is him channeling. He might be a young Stingray. Because here we get a blood-curdling, no! And you can't, like, I'm surprised the glass didn't break. Maybe that's why she comes over and unlocks the door.
well, he does the class. This is why I'm really holding on to my theory that Ryder does not exist. He's just an extension of this kid's psychosis because he does the classic crazy person thing. I can't explain anything.
Yeah.
Just open the door.
Right.
I can't just say I dealt with some crazy hitchhiker. Please let me call the cops.
Right.
Or just can you call the cops for me? He's like I gotta be let in. And she's, Griff. These people, these small town people, they're not from the mean streets of Detroit like we are. So they trust people. So she opens the door. She's like, all right, come on in. And he's like reeking. He's soaked in gasoline. So he reeks of gasoline. And he's just like, he didn't even say thank you. He just walks right past her and goes right to the fucking bathroom.
Yeah. She's like, phone's over there. And
No southern hospitality.
Yeah,
No
yeah,
southern
really.
hospitality from him.
I mean, we get a little bit of it in a moment.
Well,
here,
she's
but,
got it.
She's got it. He doesn't.
Oh, okay. I see.
And he's
Well, he's a Chicago kid, man.
well, he's from the South Side.
South
So he
side.
should have some Southern.
Rockford, from what I hear. He's going to be one of the Rockford Files.
Hometown of Cheap Trick, everybody.
Heck yeah.
And so he did he make a call first before
He makes the call. The cops are, look, we're dealing with some real tough sheriff's department here.
It's like there's so many gas stations blowing up. We don't have time to show up. It's like nothing happens in this town yet. She's just like, you're gonna have to wait an hour at least. Somebody got shot in the face the other night, and nobody showed up. It's
Yeah.
like I thought we were in Detroit for a second there because that would happen in Detroit. And he's like, yeah, he fucking died because the cops didn't show up.
Right. But the cops are willing. They're like, hey, where are you at? Longhorn. Oh, we'll be right there. Have some burgers waiting for us. It takes us 2 hours to get over there. So he goes into the bathroom, Jim, and we see that Nash is actually, her Southern hospitality's taken over because she's got fucking mean-ass smash burger going. What the fuck is a smash burger, and why should I care? That's a thing I keep seeing everywhere now, smash burger.
I
don't know. See, that they have a smash burger chain down here.
We got a couple of them up here, but
They just put like a ball of meat on the grill and then smash it. Is that why it's not smash burger?
You know what? I think. Oh wait, I think so. I have no idea. I have no idea what any of these things mean because why is it? I'll just look at why is it called? Oh, yes, it's because of method of pressing or smashing meat onto a hot griddle. So instead of making your instead of just patting it out with your hands, you're just mashing it with your Guy Fieri griddle stuff.
you gotta do it with the Guy Fieri griddle.
And by the way, I don't think diners, drive-ins, and dives will ever show up at this little place. It's just we'll talk about that later. Why it gets discontinued.
If they did show up, it would be packed. Because
yeah.
I've never seen them go to a place that isn't packed with people willing to tell them how good the French fries are.
It's the best. And the French fries there, well, finger looking good.
I think that's going to be a Yeah, so she proceeds to tell, I guess the price of getting a free burger, she didn't tell his life story. Like, lady, I don't care who the fuck you are. I'm never going to talk to you ever again. I just need to use your phone.
Can I do a little placement here?
Okay.
Because she prepares this burger. Jim's in the bathroom having a hooker bath. Just sponging himself. That's right? Hooker bath, hooker shower?
The pits and the crotch, yeah.
Yeah, I thought he got his ass up in that sink too.
Yeah,
but
he did.
Okay. And so he's got fresh new Nikes and everything. He's got
Fresh
everything.
white Reeboks kicking some ass.
Oh, Reeboks, excuse me. He switched. He was a Nike guy earlier. He's going to the fresh white Reeboks. Maybe he was saving them for San Diego to start his life over. New man, new shoes. You know what they say.
I wish he had some LA gear. I think it would have worked out better.
Jesus, fucking LA gear. Oh, boy. So while he's having his shower, bath, whatever, she has prepared the burger and she has set it out for herself. And then she goes into the back. And so the kitchen area is unattended. And Jim finally comes out 10, 15, 20 minutes. We don't know.
No,
we don't know.
We don't know.
But that burger was still steaming when he comes out. So it couldn't have been too long.
That smash burgers, hot for hours.
Hours. That's the key to a good smash burger is keeping it hot for hours.
And so, yeah, he just starts, doesn't say thank you, just immediately starts chowing down on this burger, just totally entitled. And then she's like, well, hey, let me tell you a little about myself.
Yeah.
I've never left this podunk town.
Nope.
I'd like, well, she's like, well, she asked him first. She's polite. She asked a little about him. She's like, so what's going on with you? He's like, well, I'm just driving this car. Where are you going to? And then it's before he say, she goes, California, right?
Yeah.
Everybody wants
Hollywood.
to go to Cali.
No, I'm not like one of them. I'm going to San Diego.
Yep. Almost Simon and Simon.
There we go.
That's it.
Was Simon and Simon set in San Diego?
I do believe so.
Yeah, they had a bunch of crimes in Tijuana or something.
Yeah, you know what? My favorite part, San Diego is so unmemorable. That remember in Jurassic, that second Jurassic Park movie where the dinosaurs supposedly attack San Diego. They filmed the entire thing in downtown Burbank, and nobody cared. You know, it's like I've never seen anyone go, "Oh my God, that's not San Diego, that's Burbank," as if some crime was committed. It's like, yeah, whatever, San Diego, Burbank, who cares? You know, it's like the most unmemorable place on earth, San Diego. I'll let you go to the zoo.
It's true, Joan Embry.
Joan Embry at the zoo, man. That's it.
So, yeah, she gives her life story. We hear that her brother owns this podunk gas station. Her uncle smashes the burgers.
Yup. He's the burger smasher. He's an expert burger smasher.
He's barely paying attention.
Yeah, because she's going on about how sarcasm's her love language and everything, and his eyes are just rolling back like I've heard this before. So, yeah, he's losing himself in these French fries, and she's like, I got to go clean up in the back. And so he's there all by himself with these French fries. And he gets done nibbling half of ginormous, like steak fries. You would have to paste steak fries together to equal the girth.
Well, she doesn't normally cook. She said that. She said her uncle normally does.
So these are hand-cut potato French fries?
Oh, no, there's like one fry per potato at the size they made these things.
I know, they're ginormous. It's like that image of Steven Seagal gnawing the carrot size. These carrots, these potatoes are fucking huge.
Yeah.
So he gets through half of it, and he's like, this is too much. I got to put it down and find a smaller, crispy one. That had to be what was happening here. It had to be, because there's no other reason to drop that fry. So he drops that fry, and he finds one, and he's like, okay, this is smaller. It feels a lot crispier. It just feels right. It's already pre-ketchup, too.
So he picks it up, and it's a human finger.
And yeah, he holds it for the camera as he's still just staring into the back.
But in his defense graph, they were finger-length potatoes.
Finger-length.
Oh. That's my dad joke for the evening, people.
There you go. That was good. But yeah, I mean, how do you not know when you're holding a finger versus a French fry? How out of it do you have to be to go, hey, there's a nail on my fry?
I mean, none of us have had a near-death Rutger Hauer experience, so I really don't know. I can't blame Jim here.
I've actually reached for French fries and grabbed somebody's fingers when they were reaching for theirs. So I've had that, but they've been connected to their hand. You know,
it's like a Lady in the Tramp moment. It's beautiful.
It would have been, except I want a French fry. Damn it! I'm hungry. I'm hungry here.
So the cops all of a sudden show up, and he's like, wow, it's only been 10 minutes. What's going on here? And he runs out thinking he's going to talk to these people and go, hey, there's this crazy guy on the loose. And they immediately draw, this is Texas, so, they're gun happy.
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
They're standing their ground.
They are very much so standing their ground, and they feel threatened.
Very, very threatened.
When you see a fucking mulleted little child coming out of a store vomiting all over himself, you're threatened.
and they're ready to kill basically, and they grab him. He's look, whatever, you can take me.
Yeah.
He's complying.
Right. He's trying to just talk to them. Be cool. You do what the sheriffs tell you to do. He's trying to go with that route.
They frisk him, pull out a wad of cash.
Can we talk about who one of these guys are?
You can go ahead right now.
I don't remember his name, but he's the fucking killer from 10 to Midnight.
So maybe he's the real killer and Ryder isn't the killer at all. Maybe Ryder's trying to capture him.
This is where I'm going to throw out my
Was
theory.
he naked? I don't remember.
He wasn't, but his penis was hanging out of his fly.
Okay.
So here's where I'm thinking. We're kind of looping through each other where Ryder was innocent, picked up the sheriff liked to murder people, and then framed Ryder. So then Ryder went crazy trying to get away from the sheriff who did this to, or he's a deputy.
So
but
everybody's terrorizing everyone else
to get away from murder. They're trying to pin the murders on the next person, and so they're just. It's just going. It went
a
from
round robin. Of
yeah,
murder.
it went from the deputy to Ryder, and then Ryder's like, "I got to get this heat off me."
It's like tag.
It's
like Ice-T and Dr. Dre's, Ice Cube and Dr. Dre. It's a deadly game of freeze tag.
It's a deadly game of freeze tag, dog.
Yeah.
Just burning goo on their fingers.
And so, yeah,
By the way, have we ever figured out whose finger was that in the French fries?
who? It's her uncle's, maybe. It's a good question.
I mean,
It looks like a woman's finger.
Has Ryder just been cruising around with fingers in his pockets?
Sure.
He's wearing a duster.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of space.
That's a lot of space.
It's like Danny DeVito when he was walking around and was Always Sunny, and he had the sausages in his pocket.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
you gotta keep it there, hands free.
That's it.
Oh, that's so good.
So did they pull out a knife that was opened out of his pocket?
They pulled it out and it opened as soon as they touched it, because that's how Ryder likes it. Super sensitive knives that just pop immediately.
That's a switchblade. That's a true switchblade.
Oh, okay.
Because people think switchblades are the ones that shoot out, that they swing out like an automated butterfly knife kind of thing. And in fact, no, switchblades shoot out of the top of the knife.
Oh,
and that's why they're illegal. Because you just see a guy's hand, next thing you know, a blade just shoots out of it and stabs you in the gut. Not that I have any experience with being stabbed in the gut by somebody with a switchblade, but I think it would go that way.
Well, this blade looked like someone had used to stab because it's drenched in blood, bro.
Yeah.
And they're like, "That's it. You're guilty, son." How do they know what's going on? I don't know how they know.
Texas cops.
Guilty.
Texas cops.
They get a sense.
The eyes of Texas are upon you, and they're judgmental.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were gonna sing the rest of the Walker Texas Ranger theme for us there.
No.
Oh, when the eyes of a ranger are on you, that's where the Rangers will be.
Oh, Walker.
So they arrest him. They go, "We got it. There's the evidence right there."
Well, yeah, they did know about
having a bloody knife just means you were involved with like a series of murders.
Right. They did know about the series of murders, and he did call up and say that the murderer, and then he came out and said the murderer's in there, and they're like, "Yeah, sure he is. Murderer's right here. Right. We got him." Yeah. So yeah,
and Nash comes out like, "What's going on, everybody?" He's like, "We got us a murder here,"
and she's just confused by the whole situation.
Right.
She's like, "Sure."
He seemed pretty cool to me. Told me about his life story. He's driving to San Diego.
Oh.
Nobody going to San Diego can be a murderer.
Nobody. Hollywood, different story.
Oh, Hollywood's full of murders.
Exactly.
Hollywood, yeah. You go to San Diego. You know what you are if you go to San Diego? A lover of animals at the zoo.
That's all you can do. Isn't San Diego like a big they got like army bases there or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where Gomer Pyle.
Gomer Pyle took place in San Diego?
I think it was supposed to be somewhere around San Diego.
Okay.
Camp Henderson.
Ollie.
So, she's just confused. Everyone's confused. They're like, "Well, we're going to haul you in. We're going to grill you."
She's her acting in this scene, just like the look of confusion, is so perfect for these podunk little gas station towns. Their whole town's built on a gas station.
Yeah.
People just sleep
Texas oil, dude. Yeah.
Texas oil.
So they take him. They round up, take him to the police station. They question him. He's compliant. He's just like, "Look, let me tell you my story."
He's got no ID on him. His wallet's missing. he's got like $20, and then he's got the pocket knife. So they're like, why don't you have a? If you're so in
one condom he's had since he was 15, but
well, yeah, he's only what 18 now.
I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know what the expiration date is on condoms. That's probably still good. He's not
30 years. I think it's 30 years.
30 years. Wow.
Yeah. Space age.
Space age indeed.
Polymers.
yeah. We know. Plastics never disintegrate.
That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
Well, aren't they usually like sheepskin or something? Or is that
Like,
old school?
Yeah, that's old.
That's old school.
I think you still get them. I don't know why anyone would want to, but
Because you want to fuck them old-fashioned style.
I mean, all I remember is, okay, when I worked at the textbook store, for some reason we had condoms. And the sheepskin condoms had a warning that, A, they did not prevent pregnancy, and so you could swim through it. And B, they weren't good for if you're trying to protect yourself from communicable diseases.
What?
So
and
you're
they're not
paying
kosher either.
you're paying twice as much for nothing. It's like
What?
you'd be better off just buying a roll of duct tape at this point.
It's the whole. Then I don't even understand the point of. Is it supposed to be like more thinner that you would the sensation? Like I don't know what's the point.
I guess so. It's like crepe paper.
Are they ribbed for her pleasure?
No, those were the other ones. We had those too.
The French tickler.
French, yeah. We did have one of my favorite Rough Riders. It was like,
Rough Rider,
oh yeah. They're like
I
breaking
only
those down.
magnums. I don't know anything else about condoms.
Did you stop at a truck stop on your way over here and like check out the quarter machines or whatever
No,
in the bathroom?
It's just fond memories of when I worked at the textbook store.
Oh my god.
Textbook / condom depot.
Hell yeah, because you know what? We're full service for the students.
I was gonna say, if you were at a college, that makes sense. Like, you got to have condoms everywhere. Just try to push condoms on those
I
kids.
just love the
Although-
fact that it's like these don't work. Buy them still for twice as much.
I wonder how many pregnancies we had because of those fucking condoms.
Yeah.
Well, let's play. Hey, who reads the box, right? Yeah, it's just.
Oh, that's
Babe,
also true.
I bought condoms. I don't know.
I guess you
So,
were.
It's like fucking you putting Euro meat on your dick. You know what the fuck's going on?
Oh, I got a euro for you.
So,
At least we made it
this
halfway.
this 5-minute condom segue brought to you by Merman Industries. So he gets hauled in.
Yep.
And he explains the story. He's like, "Look, I'm just driving to San Diego."
Oh, that's kind of funny. I don't know how a kid like you could drive a Cadillac. Excuse me, sir. He's using his respectful, privileged white kid voice. Put away his trashy Chicago accent and everything. Sir.
Takes the pickle of his hot dog.
Christ, what do we do? Oh, yeah, okay. Shut up. I'm trying to get us on track here.
I told you 3 hours.
3 hours, everybody. 3 hours. All right. This is a good place.
This is your bathroom break right here.
Take a pause here and get a bathroom break. Because I can't get myself together now. The fucking pickle, man. Shut up with the pickles.
Hey, I can't. Not my fault. Chicago's fucking stupid hot dogs.
So it's like, did you ever get the hot dog? Because I don't even know what the name was. Whenever I had to fly through Chicago, which I for some reason did a couple times, and I swear the store was called Mighty Dog. It was and they had Chicago style hot dogs, and I'd always eat there when I'm cutting through the airport.
I haven't had that. I've gone to some of the fancier ones, but if you listen to any smart Chicagoan,
Chicagoan?
Chi-towners. I like to call them Chi-towners.
Chi-towners, Windy Cityers.
Yeah.
The thing you have to do is you always look for the dingy
citizens.
Jesus Christ, Murray. We're sidetracked and you're still interrupting. So they say to always look for the dingiest sign. And that's your clue that the place is good. Because I went to that Portello's place and it's just meh.
Everybody's listening. Chili, mustard, and onion. Coney dog.
That's it.
Now, if you come to Raleigh, we have a Coney dog place in Raleigh with the guys from Detroit. But there's also one of my favorite places. I don't even know what it's really called, but it has a sign up front that just says Hot Wieners. And that says all, And it's supposedly they will beat you up if you try to bring ketchup in their store.
Right. I like this.
Bring your lambskin condoms to Hot Wings.
Lambskin Hot Wieners.
All right.
All right.
Interrogation.
Okay.
They're asking him, why are you driving this Cadillac? It's a drive-away, sir. You could call the company. I have the number memorized because I spent a whole summer trying to arrange this trip.
Because you had to memorize numbers back
Back then, yeah.
I don't even know my own cell phone number.
Yeah, exactly. So they're like, okay, we'll give him a call. They called up. It's Saturday. Closed.
And then he's like, well, call my brother. So they called. They let it ring like 3 times. Hang up. You're fucked, kid. You're going to jail for the rest of your life.
Oh, yeah. 10 to midnight guy. Again, his cock is just hanging out of his jeans. You see that thing go standing straight up at attention. He's like, I can't wait to show you the cells. They're very pretty.
And they take him in the cell. They throw him in there. And he's just spent. He hasn't slept in like 48 hours.
And they don't even give him a harmonica.
I know.
See,
Their hands were tied. Their hands were tied when it came to giving our harmonicas.
Good callback.
There we go.
So he just, when you don't have a harmonica to play, what are you going to do? He's going to sleep. You're like, I guess I'll just catch up on my Z's. And he passes out for 5 minutes, 5 hours. We don't know.
He's got a sheepskin condom to play
Time is
with
relative. Yes. He's blowing it up like a balloon. And he gets up and he's like, oh, sir, I need a glass of water.
Yes,
he needs he needs non-fat milk. That's what he needs.
That's what he needs.
Oh, I do like that when they were putting him into the cell, they were like, this kid's not a fucking murderer. So they knew.
You're right, yeah.
So he was going to spend a night in the pokey, but they were going to let him out and they were going to try to help him out or something. We knew that was going to happen.
Well, they were going to wait until Monday so they could call the fucking...
Or that, yeah, something. But they were going to hold him and maybe see if the murder still happened. Something like that. Anyways.
It reminds me how irritating shit was back in the day when shit would be closed on the weekend. Like, nope, you can't get a hold of this business for 2 full days. Like, what the fuck? Now everything's, 24 hours.
Yeah.
But so yeah, he says, sir, and then he leans on the door, and the door of the cell opens.
Oh.
And he's just like, okay, well, I guess I'm not arrested anymore. I can leave. So he walks out. The dog just walks by the hallway.
This is creepy. This is some ghost shit right here.
Now I'm starting to think it's the ghost of the murderer. The ghost is the dog the murderer, because the dog is nonchalant about it. Walks out. He walks into the front of the police station. Bloody bodies everywhere.
Yeah.
One cop's dick still out of his pants.
Yeah.
I mean,
10 to midnight, the cop.
Right.
So it's basically man's best friend part 2.
Yeah, because the dog's licking the blood off these dead bodies.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very sad. But the dog definitely, he had a pace to him like it was a zombie movie. That's kind of what I thought was happening.
It did feel like a Walking Dead thing.
Yeah.
So he does what anyone would do and grabs one of the cops' guns because he's like, fuck, it's Ryder. It has to be.
Right. So, I mean, he checks out the horror scene. Yep, these are all very dead. I thought he tried to make a call. Maybe he didn't because, off in the distance, he hears that there's sirens coming.
Right.
So he grabs the gun, beautiful, big old Magnum and everything.
No, it was a tiny little snub-nose gun. It wasn't a big mag. It wasn't a dirty, hairy gun.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Stuffs it in his pants, jumps out the window, and now he's out on foot. He just runs off.
Yeah, just runs off into the desert again, looking for the next gas station oasis, because they're everywhere.
They are. It's just, as I say, if you go there, there's 2 things you find in Texas: tumbleweeds and gas station superstores. That's it.
That are never open. They're always abandoned. That's the thing.
It's the weekend, like you said.
It's the weekend. They can't find help. I mean, it's the pandemic. They can't find help.
Ooh, this does feel like it's during a pandemic. Maybe this happens during what's his name's The Stand book. Stephen King's, yeah.
Maybe that's part. Maybe it's it's like the 6th hour of the miniseries.
Yeah, right. So after walking based on the sun, 15 minutes, he happens on another gas station.
Yes.
He walked over mountains and shit, and he's just at a gas station again.
Right, but this one has a functioning phone at least. He walks up to it, and he's about to make that call to his brother. I don't know who he's calling now.
Yeah, really, who is he gonna call?
And then some cops roll up, and they're just, they don't know anything's going on. I think they just roll up to get some
gas,
snacks.
Maybe snacks. Yeah.
Condoms, who knows? And non-fat milk, and they stop.
Big gulps.
Big gulps. There we go.
Yeah. And Jim is so, like, his nerves are on edge. He just pulls a gun on the cops.
I know. I thought
He
he
doesn't know
was,
who to trust.
I thought he was gonna hide his face. Instead, he jumps out, surprises the cops, and fucking holds them at gunpoint. Gets the one cop to handcuff the other cop, and then
Doesn't take the gun from the cop, though. I thought it was odd.
No, that was very odd. And then he's like, "Here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna get in." And the first cop slides in. And then the second cop, he's like, "We're going to get in at the same time." So he wants the cop who isn't handcuffed to drive the car. And Jim's going to get in the back seat while the other cop gets in the front seat. So apparently there's no gas station attendant here because you would hear this commotion and be like, what the fuck is happening out here?
It's another abandoned gas station.
It is abandoned. It's got to be. So now we're going down the road again. He's got a cop held at gunpoint. He's sitting behind him with a gun pointed right at his back. And the radio starts chirping, and he's like, "Don't tell him anything. Don't tell him where we are." He's like, "Actually, can you give me that radio?" Or no, I think he talks on it for the first minute here. But yeah, he's gonna call in the cops, and he's gonna try to work something out. He wants to talk through
He
this.
wants to turn himself in. He's like, "I'm innocent. I don't want any more violence." And the captain is cool with that. He's like, "Son, just come in. We'll talk this out. I know you're innocent." And you figure, okay, this is it. They're going to do it. And then all of a sudden, bam! A fucking cop driving the car's brain explodes.
It's so great.
It's, like I said, it's fucking the shark in Jaws. He just appears out of nowhere. He's got a barrel attached to him. And he just fucking kills both these cops. And it drives fucking away. He like, gives a little smile and just takes off.
Oh, my God.
And like fucking Jim freaking out, like leaps, grabs the fucking wheel, barely survives, like drives off the road.
Yeah, he flips over and everything. Just, I love this. I love how they like give you a minute to ease up. Even Jim has a nice big breath of fresh air. He's like, I think it's gonna be okay now. I've got cops with me. I'm gonna be safe. And then out of nowhere, just fucking slaps him in the face with the murder, and we're back on.
Or that never happened, and Jim shot both the cops.
Right, Joe?
You know what? The question is, how did he know where Jim was? Except maybe there's just one road that goes through Texas.
We've only seen one road.
He's just going from gas station to gas station. That's all they're doing. So he knows. Yeah. He's like, that's the next gas station. That's where Jim will be.
Right. I mean, maybe if this really is a purgatory, I have to imagine he's on like some little tiny planet with the one road, and he's just going around and around, and that's how Rutger knows where he's at all the time, because Rutger knows his planet. This is his planet. This is his domain. It's like Hellraiser.
So he's run out of gas stations, and so he just wanders off into the desert. He contemplates suicide because he's like, I can't stop this guy. He's superhuman. He's fucking Jason.
Yeah, he's more human than a human.
Yeah.
I just think Jim really.
Rutger Hauer movie.
Yeah. I mean, Jim just doesn't seem to have his life, he doesn't seem to have a direction in his life.
Well, yeah, if your big goal in life is just to drive to San Diego, is that your dream? You're leaving Chicago for San Diego. Okay, you don't have any direction in your life.
You just want to go see animals.
Exactly.
Just want to go to the zoo, see if Joan Embry's around. Because, I mean, it was the 80s. She was still alive.
She's dead?
I don't know if she's still alive. I mean, now we gotta look her up. Oh damn!
I think she's retired.
The problem. I know she retired at one point and was like living on the place. Oh, here we go, Joan Embry, and take your guess right now. Joan Embry is 72 and still alive.
Oh, thank God! Whoa.
Yeah.
So Jim's just about to eat a bullet when he sees off in the distance another gas station. So there's hope.
Like an oasis in this desert of gas stations.
He does grab a handful of dirt and throw it in his hair for some reason. He's his wits end.
Well, he's been acting alongside Rutger, who's just improving all over the place. So
you think it's some like gamesmanship, like he's trying to?
I think he was. I think he was trying to take one out of his book.
He was like thinking, what will Rutger do? And Rutger's like off on the side, like I would never do
Or
that.
he was remembering his time as the Soul Man, or is that the movie? He was trying to make him look darker in tone.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Disguise himself.
Wishing he had those pills and was back at Harvard Law.
So it goes up to this diner / gas station. That's all they have. That's all they have in Texas. Diner / gas station.
Yep.
and it's an old guy named Roy.
Yeah. He's actually there. He's tending it.
Serving people, yeah.
Yeah.
Until he disappears later, but he's there. And
this is like a long Twilight Zone episode. It's really good. And it's got all that great Twilight Zone vibe. It's just
and this
longer.
is available for free on YouTube, so you guys should watch
it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So he sees off this old couple that are probably there every day. They have lunch there every day. See old Roy, what he's up to.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, son, you don't look too good. What's going on with you? He's like, oh, I've had a hell of a day. Get coffee. Get me some coffee. They're brewing, the pot brewing there right there.
Oh, that's right.
So he just goes off, disappears, goes because like I said, this is fucking Jim psychosis. So when you disappear when you're not in his he's not thinking about you. You cease to exist.
Yeah.
So Roy just disappears, and he sits down. He's like, I got to sit in a booth. I got to have my back against the wall.
That's right. And he's got to be able to see outside too. He was able to see right outside.
Right. And then he just like cups his face, is in his hands, and he's like, and then guy, it's fucking Rutger. He just has a seat right across from him. Jim, he's ready for him now. He just points the gun at him underneath the table, and then Rutger just puts a master class with this scene.
The face, the beam, the everything. His
smirky,
his eyes are just like moths love these eyes because they're just so luminous.
That's why he gets picked up. Why I can hitchhike and never ever have anyone turn down his thumb.
Oh no,
exactly. Yeah. And it's like Mel pointed out last week about Rutger Hauer. Even when he's like mischievous, there's a malevolence coming off of him.
Yeah,
there's just this darkness.
I love it.
And he's just smirking the fuck it. He's like, he doesn't care if fucking Jim shoots him.
I mean, let's think about this because apparently they did I think it was Ted Bundy documentary series, and people were like, we fucking love Ted Bundy. He's a beautiful man. Who cares if he slaughtered people? I'm still kind of think I could get him to switch.
Beautiful people don't commit crimes.
Rutger's got that same effect to him. He's just you get lost in that fucking deep ocean eyes.
And Ryder's like, there's no bullets in that gun. You didn't even check, you fucking idiot.
Oh, it's so good.
He's like, I left that gun for you. And then he's like, and I got a gun too. And then he makes his hand into like a gun underneath it, plays a little footsie with him underneath with his gun. And that freaks out fucking Jim. So Jim starts to, he's like, doesn't he go like bam or something like that?
I think he might have. I think he like hit struck the table or something, just something to really freak Jim out. And so Jim starts trying to unload the gun, and it's just click, 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 click. I like how he did that. You can hear it, and the life is just draining from his face.
And this next part, you know damn well this is a Rutger. This was not in the fucking script because he gets a couple of pennies.
Well, Jim is like what's the word I'm going? He's shaking.
He's in a catatonic state.
Yeah,
he's in shock.
Yeah, well, you want to take this, Joe?
Yeah, well, I mean, he has no, he's just completely freaked out because I think he thought, oh, I've got the upper hand now, and nope, you've just been, Rutger's little toy the entire time.
Right, he'll never get the upper hand.
No, there is no upper hand for him to get.
He has no hand.
And then, yeah, as you said, he's just Jim. As soon as and I mean, there's this weird sexuality that Rutger is bringing to this role that, it's funny because there were two other actors they wanted for the role. And the only person, I guess they had sent it off to, oh, crud, now I lost everything. But the first person that they really wanted to get, that they got the script to, was Terrence Stamp from Priscilla, Queen of the Desert and stuff, and Superman too. Zod would have been messing with him.
I know that.
Stamp got the script and never returned it. Basically, he was like, okay, this is too much for me. And then the other person they tried to get was Sam Elliott, and they couldn't match Sam's money.
I wouldn't have liked Sam in this role.
And I don't think either of those two guys would have done Rutger's just weird vibe he was giving off.
No. I don't think Sam would have been able to get into this character as well as Rutger does. Rutger's just too good. He can do a lot more with a smile. Sam's just a mustache.
So the only equivalent to Rutger Hauer might be Klaus Kinski.
Oh, I
think Klaus could take things just in weird directions
Yeah.
And I
Kinda
think
like-
Rutger had it too. But the thing was, I think we sit there amazed at Rutger because of those sweet blue eyes.
Yeah.
Whereas Kinski were like, why aren't you running? You know, it's like,
Yeah. So here we are. We got fucking Jim trembling. Why are you doing this to me? And Rutger doesn't even bother to say a whole lot here.
No, because instead he pulls 2 pennies out of his pocket, licks them, and then pops them right onto Jim's eyes.
Yeah, like we don't even know what he's doing here because like they're blocking it all off and everything. You just see him licking pennies, cradling Jim's face with his hand like he's a little baby. And then we finally like he pulls off back, disappears again.
No, he leaves a little package for him. He's like,
thank you. He does leave a little for him. And we're just left looking at Jim, like head tilted backwards with these little Abe Lincolns. Because Abe Lincoln got assassinated? Wait.
No, it's because they would put coins on dead people's eyes for the ferryman in the afterlife. So that's when he's dead, it's basically saying.
Oh, I see. I thought it was a reference to Penny on Pee-wee's Playhouse. You claymation dweeb, I will destroy you.
I forgot. Rutger does say something before he leaves. You're a smart kid. You'll figure it out.
Do your research, kid.
Do your own research.
And then he pushes a little, it's like a handkerchief. He pushes across and then this walks back, disappears. And then Jim opens it up and it's like a bunch of hollow point bullets. Probably that were in that gun. I don't know why cops had hollow point bullets, but
yeah,
it's Texas.
It's Texas.
That's a good point.
So a bus pulls up.
Yeah, bus pulls up and Roy walks out. All this happens just right after. Very weird.
And so Jim hightails it into the bus. He's like, I gotta get out of here because what happened is he doesn't have his car anymore. I guess the cops.
Yeah, Jim's been on foot for a while.
At the police station.
Yeah.
Assuming. And so he just gets down there and hides in the bathroom because he doesn't have a ticket.
Yep.
They stop for literally 1 minute for a meal or something.
Okay. I'll give them a break here because everyone on the bus, there's like 10 people on the bus. They go inside to have a nice meal.
Well, one guy's doing his taxes.
One guy does sit down. He's got a full on like little teller machine and he's punching all of his numbers in there. We'll get into another character who happened to hop on. So there is one road, and it is a tiny planet of circles. This is a Twilight Zone episode. It has to be. And so, he gets in the bathroom. He's crying. You're like, oh my God, is he thinking about suicide again? Because he's loading up the gun now, and he got teardrops falling on his hands, and then he just sits there, and he's just stewing, and whatever that smell is, I don't want to know what that smell is, but he doesn't know what to do with himself. So all the people got off the bus. Who knows? Maybe it was a minute. Maybe it was 10 minutes. As soon as the tax man got done, they get back on the bus.
Okay.
And they're heading down the road. He feels that it's moving, so now he's like peeking his way. He's like, "Can I sneak into a seat without anyone noticing me?" And pops into the back row.
No, he's still in the bathroom. And then Nash is on that bus. Her work shift's over, so she's driving home. And so she's like, Vinny's got to take a dump. He's like, I'm not going to wreck my toilet at home, so I only take a shit on the bus.
Smart.
You're not supposed to shit on the bus, people. You know.
No number 2 on the bus, man. No number 2 on the bus.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's like when you rent one of those little RV things. Right away, first thing you got to tell everybody: no number 2 on the bus. We will pull off. That's what rest stations are for.
But she's just like I said, I'm not ruining my bathroom, so I don't care if this isn't mine. So she goes in there, and then Jim's in there, and he grabs her, and then she's like, "What the fuck? What happened?" And he's just like, "You're not gonna believe me, but And she's like, "Oh, I kind of do because you're so cute. I do believe you. You look like Ted Bundy."
That's right.
And so it's Stockholm syndrome. She's automatically in love with this kid. He's a little dangerous now.
The same thing that Rutger gets away with, Jim's getting away with. Is this a Fight Club thing?
And you notice Jim's wearing a leather jacket now, so he's kind of cooler now.
Oh
So
my
she's
goodness. He's getting
swooning for
closer to a duster.
Yes. He's going to dust her. And so she believes the story.
He's going to Ric Flair her.
She believes the story, the bus ride from hell. And any bus ride's a bus ride from hell, by the way, if you've ever been on a bus. And so she agrees, like, I guess to help him out or whatever. So they just sit on the bus with each other.
They play cool. They get about 5 miles down the road when more sirens. Jim just can't get away.
Everybody's supernatural. How are the cops finding out about? Why do they know he's on this bus?
How come you don't hear anyone yelling, playing that I see something that starts with an S game?
Oh,
I
yeah.
Spy?
I Spy.
I Spy. And Sirens, S. Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
It's
Serial killer. Serial killer starts with S.
The whole movie is in Jim's head. We've cracked the case, Griff.
that's got to be it.
Everything is so supernatural about
Everything is supernatural.
So they pull over.
You know what happens? You know what might happen? You know that scene in the beginning when he starts to nod asleep?
Yeah.
What if this movie is basically takes place from the minute he nods to when he smashes and kills himself on the side of the road?
I'm 100% on board with this theory.
Yeah.
Well, you pointed out, Joe, that this movie is the greatest driver ed movie of all time.
It is. It is such a. Everything is. I shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. You know, and he does.
I feel kind of ripped off. I'm a little younger than you. I didn't get to see. Did you get to see the full-on gory like driver ed movies when you took driver ed?
We saw one from the Ohio State Highway Patrol things. I've seen a bunch since then. I've got probably a collection of them on disc somewhere. But because the story about those films are
No.
the guy who made them would drive around with the Highway Patrol, and he would show up at wrecks and film the wrecks and who's dead and stuff or injured or whatever, and then he would go off and get the car that was wrecked and dress kids up like the kids or the people that were in the wreck. And then he'd do the preceding part to the wreck with the people dressed up like the people who'd got messed up in the wreck.
For fuck! Oh my god!
Yeah, so it was like recreation snuff footage.
Yeah, you'd think you'd be a little offended if you were the family of the people that are being used in these movies.
They probably had no idea because they all had driver's license by then, or they were dead. It's like...
There we go.
So the cops tell Jim to get out.
Well, yeah, they pull the bus over.
They're furious because they think Jim killed the cops. You killed my friends, motherfucker.
Right.
I'm standing my ground.
And Jim, he gets right back. He gets right up, and he's telling Nash, "This has to end. Whatever happens to me, it's got to end right now, right here." So he opens the bus doors. He tosses the gun out as the cops instruct him to. They say, "Slowly come out." He does exactly everything the cops tell him to.
Right. But they want to. This guy lost. His best buddy was the guy who pulls his dick out of his pants. The 10 to midnight guy.
It's his favorite joke. Right. He's always ribbing. Don't sell. Don't sell.
And for those at home, the actor who's Trooper Hancock, Henry Darrow, he was in High Chaparral.
And it all comes around. Hancock.
There you go.
So he wants some plausible deniability. So he goes, "Wipe that spit off my wrist." And he's like, "What?" Because he wants fucking Jim to look like he's going for his gun, and he'll have justifiable homicide.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he's falling for that. It's like my mouth's too dry. I didn't spit. And Nash comes out. She's like, "Hey," she's got the gun that she picks up the gun that Jim dropped.
Yeah, it was just at right outside the bus doors.
And he's too cute to be a killer. I think he's innocent.
Perfect accent.
Hey, man.
Voice of a generation over here, everybody.
Voice of God.
I'm telling you, you know what? You can make money replacing Jennifer Jason Leigh's dialogue in other movies when she doesn't want to, when she doesn't want to say cockroach and stuff like, some actors do.
Hollywood,
the TBS version of her films.
I've been pushing his audio on the State Farm people. I want you to replace J.K. Rowling or whatever his name is. The bald dude?
J.K. Simon.
J.K. Simon. I want you.
Oh, yeah. Hey, he's from Detroit too, so it'll just.
Shit! So it's not even going to be you steal it. It's going to be a handshake.
Hand me down.
True. Okay. Here's my true story about J.K. Simon. I had a friend of mine who was working on The Closer with him, and she had no clue he was in Oz. And I can't remember, she was like one of the assistant director, the assistant director thing on the show. And so I told her, I said, "Oh, you're working with him? You got to watch Oz. You got to watch Oz." So that weekend, she sat down and watched a couple episodes where he's the Nazi, the head Nazi in the prison, the Aryan Nation guy.
Jeez.
She could not look at him the next day when she showed up on the set. She was so in fear of him. I was like, I felt so bad. But I was like, it's such a great performance as Vern Schillinger. And I'm like, you gotta know. Oh God, and just I might as well have just thrown a police report at her. Like this is what he did to the other people. So there you go. Brushes with brushes. Yes. Don't let him tattoo a swastika on your ass. Whatever you do.
So Nash tells the cops to drop their guns.
Yeah.
I'm taking them. They jump in a cop car and take off.
Yeah.
And of course, the cops are immediately in hot pursuit.
Immediately. And the cops have multiplied at this point. There's like 9 cop cars now. But it whittles down to 2 after 5 minutes driving. 4 of them have to stop. They probably had viddies this afternoon or something.
Right. They had to get some coffee.
Or coffee. Yeah, there we go. They stop by another one of the gas station diners and that's my favorite. I got to stop here.
Right.
Got to get a bag of donuts. So now we're just left with 2 cops chasing
Jim's like,
them.
shoot the motherfuckers. He's like, I'm not shooting anybody.
Jim's trying to get them to shoot. Nash is trying to do the smart thing and like radio in. And she's like, we're going to go see Riley. Who's Riley? I don't know. Is it her uncle maybe? But she's like, we're going to go see Riley. It's all going to be good. I'll radio in and say we're coming to the station. But the dispatchers are just like, no, motherfucker. Our hands aren't tied anymore. We're murdering your asses.
Right. So they're literally firing at these guys. They don't put like a strip across the road to fucking. They're going to murder.
Yeah, they're not
guys.
shooting at a tire. They're shooting for heads.
So in a way, Jim is justifiable in saying, "Can you please shoot them back?"
A little bit, yeah.
And she's like, "I'll try." Typical broad. As soon as she opens the fucking window, she drops the gun. Oops. And he's like, God damn it. So they're just driving down the road. Cops are now on each side of them. So he does the move where he slams on the brakes and he lets them shoot each other.
Perfect execution.
And I don't know how they did this stunt. It was pretty fucking cool because both the fucking cars like flip over.
Yeah. It was beautiful.
It was it just looked like one of those things you see in Evel Knievel thrill show, or Joey Chitwood Hell Drivers kind of action.
It was cool.
And it's so in slow mo, so you see the tumble. It's like Evel Knievel when he tried to jump Caesar's Palace. You're just watching these cars tear themselves apart with each time they flip. Oh, and the best part was there's more.
Yes, because apparently the cops got a 9/11 budget because they invested in a helicopter. So we got a chopper, and that just discussed the level of the level of fair play that Ryder has. He's like, that's out of line. I have to intervene now because Ryder is on a parallel road watching all of this.
Not road. This truck that he got is very fortunate because it is made for off-roading.
Well, it's a Fury Road car.
It is a Fury Road car.
It's a Fall Guy truck, man. He's there.
Fall Guy truck.
So, and I love the grin on Rutger's face. He's got a cigarette dangling. He just nonchalantly just starts shooting at the helicopter. Shoots it out of the sky.
Yeah, I think the only thing that'd be cooler is if he just got out a mirror, reflected the light, blinded the pilot, and then the pilot crashes. But hey, I love him just little handgun, shoots out a fucking helicopter. I love it. Loved it.
So go ahead.
I'm just saying it basically you're sitting there thinking, oh, this car flip, that's good. And then you get that chopper going down. Because Rutger is that badass that you can shoot down choppers with a handgun.
Right. And like the Jaws shark, he just drives away. He just goes off. He's like, I'm going to disappear again.
That's right.
Cloud of dust.
Thank you, Masked Man.
And Nash actually notices him, too, because they both notice him driving off.
Right.
And Nash is just like, why did you pick that man up? And he's like, well, you haven't seen his eyes yet. They ain't like a shark's eyes.
So now that's fucking up my theory then, because she can see Ryder. I don't know.
Maybe she's not real either.
Oh.
How does she end up on the bus he ends up on?
This is why you listen to Golan-globus Theater. You don't hear these theories anywhere else.
I mean, it's not. Has it been a full day since she started working at I guess it was, but yeah. I mean, it's the next day and she's on the bus again.
Time,
that's the thing. Time is relative in this movie. It's just
what sort of shift does she work? What sort of shift does she work at her day? At the restaurant there. I don't know.
yeah, 'cause it
much
has
like
been
a
day.
dream. You have a dream where it's like you feel like it's 5 hours. You wake up, it's 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
It's just his psychosis, dude.
It's like it's a dream. This is a David Lynch movie.
Delusions.
This is the road at the end of Twin Peaks. You got to get to the right telephone pole, and then the portal opens up, and then you're at a weird motel, and then you bang Laura Dern.
Speaking of weird motels, they find a weird motel, girl.
Oh yeah.
And Laura Dern's going to be here.
After walking through the desert again for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Yes.
went through the desert on a horse with no name.
And they find this hotel, truck stop,
Mm-hmm.
and they just collapse on a bed.
I was waiting to see the Tulpas.
The what?
Tulpas.
Okay.
That's what they called it in Twin Peaks when they saw the doubles of each other. Tulpas.
I thought you said tolpus. I was like,
Tolpus.
Is that like a lot lizard?
That's a lot lizard with that charges twice as much coming and going.
So this is where she's just like, why did he pick that guy up?
Yeah.
He's like, I just wanted to be a nice guy. This guy was in the rain. I wanted to help him, and he's like obsessed with me.
He's obsessed with me.
And she's just like, he's like, well, I'm gonna call my daddy. No,
No calls.
that would make too much sense.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
really, I didn't get this. Like, is he tracing phones? He can find you. He gets you. The cops know where you are. Everybody knows where you are. Why?
Well, shit, dude. If I experienced as much shit with this guy, I would be thinking that too. Like, no, he can trace phones with his mind. So don't fucking use the phone. So he's like, look, all I've had is a hooker bath from the past 48 hours. I need a real shower.
Yeah, he like lays on the bed because Nash is like, "Can I lay on the bed by you?" And he's like, "Okay, that's fine. That'll be okay. I consent." And just being around him and his stinky gas hair and dirty hair and everything, she passes right out, and he thinks that it's safe to go take a shower, and she's not gonna like wake up and make a phone call or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So he takes like an hour-long shower, 5 minutes. Time is relative.
It was good steam. He got a good steam going.
It's one of those hotels. Look, when you go to a hotel and you got nothing to do, you just sit there and you take an hour-long hot shower because it's not your hot water.
You got to contemplate life too.
You gotta make the money back.
This isn't Murray's bag for sure. Like he needs to be in the fucking Tango and Cash shower because he can't be in a confined area with water on him. It's too much like
I can't be in a casket with water on me. You're absolutely right. So he's taking a shower. She wakes up. It's like, I'm going to call my daddy. She calls, makes that call. That sets off the fucking alarm. She was right. Because Ryder picks up on that telepathically. And as soon as she puts her head down to go back to sleep, he's looming over her.
All right.
He's like Candyman.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it.
Is this the best creep of the movie?
It's pretty good.
Go ahead, Joe.
I mean, it's got to be the best little moment of, what the hell is this guy up to?
I love it so much because it's like the camera guy is on the ground and he just swings the camera slowly over to the door, and then you got this giant fucking menacing blue-eyed, beautiful blonde-haired man just standing there. But he's not looking to just helicopter his dick. He's looking
for some tenderness.
He wants love. I mean, that's what he wants in the end. He wanted some love from C. Thomas Howell. You didn't get it.
So, is he supposed to be gay? Were they saying gay people are evil in this movie?
Well, this was the 80s, so that
I know,
could
that's
be a theory.
Okay.
Well, but then again, he wasn't all the way. So, maybe it's people who just won't. Maybe it's people who just tease you.
Yeah.
That are evil.
Oh, they are.
He teases them all because he's teasing everybody.
That's true.
Yeah.
But it's like maybe Jim, who's met Nash twice and doesn't seem very interested, despite the fact that she's very attractive and attracted to him. He's not getting down with her. Maybe it's because he is gay, and Rutger is his gay feelings that he's trying to run away from.
You know what I think we could tie this film into?
What?
Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Oh!
This might be the hitchhiking version of Nightmare on Elm Street 2, where nobody was told this was what it's supposed to be, except for probably Rutger. Like,
I think Rutger made it that way.
You do that. I mean,
thriller.
Okay, I'll tell you. When I was in film school, we had to do this project, and it was just this dumb little script about two people and one guy's moving away. And I told one of the guys, I took him aside and I said, you got to play your character like you want to sleep with this guy, but you can't say it. And it, and everybody enjoyed the scene. I was like, what the heck happened? I mean, I think Danny was in the class, Dan McBride at the time, and they're all, how did you do this? Why did you make it so much different than what we were expecting? And I refused to tell them. I'm telling you now. But, maybe that's the thing. Rutger's like, I'm going to play this character this way. And I'm not telling anybody until they stare in the editing room and go, oh, crap, this is great. What the hell? It's like, and maybe that's what he did. He just went, this stealth rogue thing.
I love it.
Classic Rutger move.
Exactly. Classic Rutger.
And as soon as
Rutger.
You don't notice it on the set, but when you cut the scenes together, it's like, wow, it's like his imaginary boyfriend who's really into the roughness.
All right.
So Ryder just gently spoons Nash.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And again, she goes right along with it because she's into Jim, and that's who she thinks it is. She reaches over because he's got a big old mitt. She should have known right then that it wasn't Jim.
She had those light, delicate paws of C. Thomas.
Of a child compared to this man.
Yes.
And so she reaches over her shoulder and she touches the hand because she's looking for a little. She needs something to help stabilize her in this stressful moment. And then she feels his hand. It's just covered in blood and like random bandages, little rings of tape. It's like, oh, does he keep his blade in there? What's going on?
It's and then he covers her mouth, and then we cut away to Jim back in the shower, and he's getting dressed,
fully dressed, by the way, shoes and everything.
Well, we said he might be gay, or he might just be really uptight. Like he's never been a woman alone in a room, so he's like, I'm gonna shower fully clothed. Don't worry about me.
I mean, Jim would have been alive today if he'd asked her, or not Jim, but her. She wouldn't have gotten abducted if she just said, "Let's shower together."
That's
I mean, it's an educational film. If you're being chased by a psychopath who just won't stop and mysteriously appears, do not split up, even if you have to take a shower.
True.
They should have shared that shower. And it's Jennifer Jason Leigh, so she'd probably be up for sharing a shower in a movie, She's not going to go, does my character really need this? She's going to say, it's going to be warm water, right? That's going to be it.
Well, even if she was against it, Rutger would talk her into it. It's like, look, this looks at her. She's like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So
sticks his thumb out and it's all good.
Rutger's like, I'll work the camera. Don't worry about it.
Do you want to be in the shower with me or Jim?
So Jim is just about to open the door. He hears the TV go off. And he told her to not put that they charge you if you use the TV.
That's right.
Do not turn that on. And he walks out, so something's wrong.
He rips the fucking towel holder off the wall.
Rips the towel rack off. Perfect weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Opens the door, and he sees that she's gone. And it's like, how long has the shower been? Like, what's the time of this? Because
3 hours.
3 hours.
Well, then this makes sense how Rutger set up the next scene, because I'm like, has it been 2 minutes? How did he do this? Because he runs out looking around, we get a jump scare. It's the cops. It's that captain that he was talking with on the
Estrogen.
And he's just like, son, he's like, what's going on? I was like, son, you need to talk to this boy.
You better go with us.
And we see, we're at a truck stop now.
Yeah.
And we see the Rutger has Nash tied to her arms are tied like a trailer or something.
Yeah, it was a parked trailer,
and her feet are tied to the truck that he's in.
Right. So Rutger is just in there smiling his little ass off, and he's just revving the engine and everything, just letting everyone know
he's doing the Trump thing, pumping his fist.
Yeah. He's having all fun. He's a little child. This is like his greatest work. He's an artist,
and Jim's like, shoot this motherfucker. He's like, son, we shoot him. That truck rolls. His foot goes off the clutch. She's going to be ripped in half. He wants to talk to you.
Talk about a Chicago pickle.
And he gets in the cab with Rutger. Oh, man. Rutger's so damn good in this movie, man.
Yeah, the cops are like, we're not going to negotiate this. He's only willing to talk to you. You go do this.
But you put your life on the line. He has a gun too. But go in there. And he does. Jim gets in there. He's, he feels obligated. She gave him a smash burger earlier in the day.
Oh, jeez.
French fries, man. It's the French fries.
And he's sitting there. He got a gun like on the seat next to him. Like hands it to Jim. He's like, "Shoot me."
Wait a minute. No, those were not French fries. Those were freedom fries. And you could tell by the way you could choke on them.
Yeah.
Shoot him. Yeah.
He's like, "Put the gun in my face and squeeze." And Jim just he wants to do it, but it'll kill Nash because he'll his foot will fall off the brake.
Right. Estridge told us that. He's like, I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it.
And then you see the look of disappointment on Ryder's face. He's just like, this guy's so bitch made.
Yeah.
He's like, you useless piece of shit. And then we just fade to black. He just fucking slams on the fucking gas. We hear that ripping noise.
Oh, it was nasty, and Nash screaming out.
But it wasn't. That's the power of imagination, Griff. We don't see anything. But we're
I remember Siskel and Ebert going ape shit about that scene.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They hated this movie, and they hated that. There's Jeffrey Jason Lee getting torn apart. And all I keep thinking is now you go, oh, wait. When Mel Gibson gets torn apart at the end of Braveheart, you give him Oscars. But Jennifer Jason Lee, it's so bad. And you didn't even see anything, as you said.
Right. Because you know what? This is ballsy cinema, Griff, because most movies wouldn't have the balls to do that.
Yeah.
They'd be like, no, the female lead's got to live.
Right.
Yeah.
No, she doesn't. And she does in this movie.
Ponyboy doesn't stay golden. Ponyboy doesn't stay gold in this film. He lets her down.
We just fade to black. We're in a police station now. Ryder's been arrested. He let himself be arrested. He didn't. He's fine. And we see a cop cleaning up Jim. Even though he just had a shower, why does he need to be cleaned up again? I don't know.
Right.
And they're like, well, we now this is where we get an hour of the backstory of John Ryder.
Yeah,
if it was a movie made nowadays.
Oh no, this already is basically what gave us the Joker scene in the Batman Dark Knight or whatever it was.
Yeah.
This is what gave it to us because Rutger was so powerful in this. They were like, we got to do this. What's his name? The dead guy. He was a big fan of Rutger. He says, I want to recreate this with the Batman. So that's why we got that scene that everybody loves. And you see in memes everywhere. You don't see this fucking scene.
Mm-hmm.
The Genesis now, because thanks to us.
Thanks to us, yeah. The Genesis of the fucking Batman, scene. So anyways.
So he's like, we ran his fingerprints, nothing. We don't know his real name. He won't say his name.
Was Rutger in the Spartan Squad?
He might have been. He might have. Yeah, I think you're
Bennett. The Spartan Squad, like the gay connection. I don't. The fact that he disappears
gay
and reappears
men with a particular set of skills usually wind up in the Spartan Squad.
Yes.
Yeah.
And who could resist those eyes and that hair? Oh, okay. Okay.
He's all about it. He's all. You know what? I think he's probably so deep they don't even want to talk about him in the other part.
Oh man.
They're jealous. They're jealous of how good he was.
Yeah, I don't think we're dealing with a super phenom guy. I think he's just a supernatural guy. He's just phenomenal. He's a Spartan Squad guy.
Okay, makes sense.
Like if I had a Commando 2, it'd be going after Rutger.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. You get fucking. Oh my god, I can't. I'm sorry. I'm gonna lose track if I start thinking about that.
We're in the home stretch.
Home stretch, everybody.
So they take Jim into the two-way mirror room so they can watch the interrogation. He's not fucking Rutger's just catatonic. He's not saying anything.
Oh yeah.
And Jim's like, I want to talk to him.
Well, yeah, the guy interrogating him, he's just slamming his fist on the table. What's your name? What's your name? What's your name? And Rutger is not cracking a fucking smile at it. Just sitting there. And then Jason.
Let Jay name him.
Yeah, Jim is just behind the two-way mirror, and he goes, John Ryder. And for somehow, Rutger and his super abilities, he hears that and turns towards the mirror a little bit, so you just get the crook of his eye, like the side boob effect of just like his glare. It was so beautiful, so perfect. And yeah, does he say I want to go in, or
Yes,
the cop
he says I want to talk to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they think he's going to like talk to him and maybe get something out of him. And then this you guys are saying about the gay stuff.
Yeah.
He unloads a money shot right on Rutger's face. He just pocks a
Well,
loogie.
Murray walks right up to him and he extends his hand, and then Rutger stares Jim in the eye and extends his hand, so they shake hands.
Yes.
What does that mean?
It's a Rutger move. I don't
What
know.
does that
Only
mean?
Rutger Hauer knows. But Jim hucks a loogie all on John Ryder's face. His money shot all on his face. It's just running down. And then they just take Jim away.
Yeah.
And then John Ryder just rubs it on his face.
Oh my God. The saliva acting happening here is spectacular.
It's I don't get how this film didn't get an X rating just from that.
Right. Maybe. Wait, did Siskel and Ebert have a whole lot to complain about here?
I don't recall them talking about the spit scene. You know, the loogie, the loogie money shot.
Jesus, because that was like the most the part I had to turn away from, because that was just disgusting.
It's
acting Rutger Hauer is. He'll take a loogie on the face.
Like I said,
not just he takes a loogie. He takes us on a metaphoric journey of how just whoa, you took that where? You know, as you watch him as he just wipes in that little slight grin, like this is the best I've been waiting for all week, you know?
I love it. We're near the end of the movie. We still don't know any motivations behind this guy. He's just a psycho.
Nothing. He's still smiling. He's caught, and he's still just smiling, wiping spit off his face. And now they're going to load him into a prison bus and take him down to, where they, I don't know, the
jail.
Jail, sure. And, still getting no backstory. And we follow him. He's locked in the bus. He's humming a little tune, no harmonicas.
Got that smirk on his face.
Yep. And then meanwhile, we finally get to see that Estridge is driving Jim somewhere, maybe to drop him off at the bus. It's probably the same bus line that's just looping through this fucking Twilight Zone town. He's never going to be able to leave it again unless he kills himself. So as they're driving along, the cop is just like, what is the deal with you two?
Get a room, people.
You guys, do you have AIDS? Can I sit in the same car as you? Like, can you open the window just to let the AIDS flow out? It's very much like COVID. You just open air and you're fine.
Right.
They were just, I mean, it really, as you said, and it was during that panic time when people were like, oh, you can get it from, somebody sneezing near you and stuff. So,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you really got to be extra precautious here. And when you're the law, too, it's like you got to stand up for your community.
No, but it's, the spit scene kind of, probably the sheriff is like, what the hell's going on with you two?
Right. That had to be fucking really weird for that whole, everybody in that office. Well, interrogation room.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're continuing down the road, and Jim is completely in the Rutger role now. He's in the passenger seat. He's not answering questions. He is the one who's just staring at the cop with like kind of a blank face, a little bit of a grin. And he, again, pulls a Rutger. Can I have a cigarette? And the cop's like, well, I suppose you can. So he's going into, apparently he keeps them in his left pocket. So he's turning to his left. And in this moment, Jim reaches over and steals the cop's gun, which is holstered on his right hip. And wow, is this full circle at this point? Is Jim now Rutger?
Jim is the man. Maybe Jim has always been Rutger.
Exactly. That's how it's so easy to go into this whole theory that, is Jim imagining everything? Is he Edward Snowden? I don't even remember I was going to go for Ed Norton. What the fuck is his name?
Yeah, it was Ed Norton.
Can't remember his name in that movie, though. All I remember is Jack Palsy. Wait, no, that's Jack Hersey. No, I can't remember names.
Tyler Durden. I think Tyler. No, Tyler. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Wow. That was a name trip as I tried to buy time while Murray got back from the bathroom. It did not go well. He was disgusted. He threw up a little chunky soup before he sat down.
He was just the narrator. He has no name.
Yeah.
Ed Norton. So he's like C. Thomas Howell. Do we remember his name?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So Jim has commandeered this cop car now. He's allowed the cop to get out, and he's got something he needs to do.
Unfinished business.
And of course, Estridge is like, "Kid, I know what you're thinking. There's nothing down that road for you." There is.
Because he hasn't dealt with Ryder. He doesn't know how dangerous Ryder is.
Well, nobody knows how dangerous he is, as we see on the bus.
He's doing his psycho thing where he's just sitting there. The fly lands on him, but he's like, "I'm not gonna swipe that fly because I wouldn't
crawling on his eyeball."
Yeah, I wouldn't even harm a fly."
And they're all the cops like sitting there playing cards because the man has only destroyed how many police cars? He's blown a chopper out of the air. He's killed all these officers and cleaned out an entire station. And you know what? Hey, who's got time for gin? It's like,
I mean,
a little poker, a little Texas Hold'em on the bus.
Think about the movie. Oh, go ahead.
All I keep thinking is, Halloween, that last Halloween movie, when let's just stick psychopathic Mike Myers on a bus and leave him on Halloween, and we won't have too much security, whatever. It's like, did you guys watch the other movies? It's like, have you seen his rap sheet? It's like,
I just get total vibes because obviously No Country for Old Men was inspired by this, but Anton Chigurh. The cops kept arresting him, but they were just like, yeah, you got this weird dude. He's got a weird haircut. You disarm people with a smile and a weird haircut. That's all you got.
Our hands are tied. We can't do anything.
Exactly.
We have to play Texas Hold'em. It's the law. It's part of our police union.
Our hands are no longer tied. We gotta shuffle this deck.
Yep, that's it.
Somehow Jim knows where they're going because he catches up.
Murray, there's one road. This is a Twilight.
The opposite direction.
This is a Twilight Zone world. It's just a tiny planet with one road that wraps around.
Okay, that explains all the gas stations. The same gas station they keep running it.
That's how Rutger is getting everywhere.
It's like the worst video game ever made.
They're inside a snow globe like Cemetery Man.
There we go. Yeah.
Did I just give that movie away? Did I just give Cemetery? I hope everybody out there has seen Cemetery Man because you should.
I haven't even seen it.
Oh, you haven't?
No, we haven't.
Oh, you must. I know it's Italian horror, but
now we don't need to. You fucking ruined it.
We'll save that for later because we got right there. I could taste the ending on my tongue here. So he's charging after the prison bus. Of course, there it is.
We already know what's going to happen, so we don't need this scene where he takes out every cop.
Yeah, we already. Yeah,
Rutger just kills them all.
Yeah,
grabs a shotgun and is ready to roll.
Yeah, so it's like Jim gets real close to it, and suddenly he's got a fucking shotgun.
Guy
blast.
driving the truck doesn't notice any of the shit happening in the back.
No, because the hands are tied.
I don't get why the bus is still driving because it's not like they had cruise control on those things.
Well, the driver's still alive. He just doesn't care. He's just like, well, my job is to drive this bus.
He's pissed he wasn't allowed to play Texas Hold'em.
Maybe that could be it, and maybe he's 2 weeks away from retirement. He's like, I'm just gonna put my head down and coast through.
Officer about to retire.
So this is easily one of the greatest fucking scenes I've experienced in my lifetime.
Wow.
Shotgun blast comes through, doors fucking falls off the hinge, Rutger there, hair blowing, beautiful blue eyes, just peeking up slowly, turning up to face the camera.
I'm getting intense Road Warrior vibes off.
100%.
Because he's like Wes from Road Warrior, where he leaps on the fucking hood.
He doesn't just leap at the hood, though.
Yes, I know. He goes right through the fucking windshield.
So fucking good. He missiles himself through the fucking windshield. Does a somersault in the car and flips over.
Sitting perfectly in the chair.
Just sitting there, and I was like, is he going to ask for a cigarette? Oh, that would have been so great.
Get a light. But he doesn't.
No, because Jim realizes he tries to get his gun out, but the explosion of fucking Ryder coming through the windshield knocks his gun away, too. So he slams on the brake because it's the only other thing he can do.
Right, and it works.
Yeah, and Rutger... just like he came in, he just whoop, right back out.
Yeah.
And he goes flying down the road.
Rolling down the road. And then, I didn't know this happens, but when you slam on the brakes, your car just stalls out.
Yeah, it stalls out. It's a Bronco, man. That's what Broncos did. That's why they're
It's
not.
the 80s.
Yeah, it's the 80s too.
Is that it?
Well, maybe there was a little AIDS in the engine.
So Ryder gets up. He's supernatural, so he shakes it off. A little blood running down the forehead. Got a little juice.
Yep.
We didn't see it. That's how much of a pro he is.
And of course, he held onto a shotgun during all of this.
I think there was a laser scope on it.
There was definitely a laser scope on it.
Which just ties in another one of the Rutger movies. It's this whole world.
It's a whole world.
So
this is the first movie we've done with him where there's not a Harley Davidson, though.
Yeah, that's true. And so he gets up and he starts firing at the Bronco.
Just teasing him. He's shooting all around
It's
the
all
target.
a game to this guy.
100%.
He's like, I don't care if I live or die. I'm begging this fucking twerp to kill me, and he can't even do it. And so you get the fucking
That's how you know it's a thriller,
right.
Scary movie, because the car won't start anymore.
Right. But it does eventually, because he Fonzie's it. He fucking hits the dashboard.
Yeah.
And it just fucking hauls ass onto Rutger. Rutger goes flying. I don't know why this time it stopped him, because he's been hit multiple times. But it does. Well, it doesn't. It just knocks him off the road.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we got to have this scene. We can't just have a scene where the guy who's been tormented by this guy all movie murders him. Well, it's not murdering. It's justifiable homicide as far as I'm concerned.
You're in Texas. Fuck yeah, it is.
You
He's
need
standing
that
the shit
scene.
out of his own
You need
ground.
the scene, because this is the 80s, where you show mercy, and you show what a bunch of pussy move showing mercy is.
Yeah.
You turn your back on the guy, and that's when they get you. They rise up.
Yep. And he, for some reason, had the Russian chain on him, so he fucking tosses it forward. I was like, oh shit, are we going to go down to the house? Are we going to see a Russian chain match?
Because he wants Jim to kill him. Because he warns him with the chain. Because that Jim turns around.
Oh, he's saying, I'm off the chain.
Right.
Yeah.
And Jim has his shotgun. And unfortunately, Rutger is not in a really thin little locker.
Yeah.
So when he gets shot by a shotgun, he dies.
Okay.
And
He
just
gets
blows-
ventilated pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Spartan Squad, they use chains as symbolism. That's why Bennett wears the chain knit vest.
Yeah, there's no chain in there. It's just a knit vest.
But it's in the chain linked, like, that's what it's, yeah.
Okay.
Symbolism, Murray. That's what we're going for here. It's the symbolism. And he's got the chain. Everyone's got the chains.
Wow.
And
We
then,
finished it?
Yeah.
Well,
It's-
wait. You got to mention Jim reunites with the truck. And we get that lovely credit roll over the top of him.
Oh, yeah. He just stands over the truck and he's like smoking a cigarette. The night has finally fallen on the day. Like,
More cigarettes. More
Yeah.
cigarettes. This video is just one big Joe Camel gets high. Maybe Joe Camel is what Ryder really is.
Oh.
Maybe Ryder is cancer.
Maybe he's the Marlboro man.
He could be that too.
That ties in with Harley Davidson, too.
Do you remember Magna? Do you remember Magna cigarettes?
No.
Magma cigarettes. Oh, they're pretty nasty looking. They used to give us like free stuff at school, so we would. I didn't smoke, but I would take their ashtrays and their T-shirts and stuff.
There you go.
Ah.
Everyone in the 80s, especially in the wrestling world, they just loved freebies and they'd wear them everywhere. Copenhagen.
Why not, man?
Yeah, all that.
Free,
shit.
use it.
Yeah, radio stations.
Swag world after all.
Swag world after all.
Swaggy P.
Just as you thought it couldn't get. First of all, thank you, Joe. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Always a delight to visit Detroit via the internet and hang with you guys. It's a privilege to be a part of the greatness that is.
Hey, you're like fucking old school fan of ours. You go way back.
Wait, I go well. I go way. Plus, then I listen to the episodes before that. So yeah,
And we appreciate that.
yes.
But you just think it couldn't get better, Griff. Rutger Hauer month continues for one more week. And I had to call in a guy. This guy, I think, has the record for our most popular first-time guest of all time.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the guy who I'm in negotiations with to write a novelization series for Spartan Squad. Because he is professional men's literaturist. We're talking about our buddy Jacques Baudelaire. Or Jack Baudelaire, if you know him on Twitter. He's going to be in here for one of his favorite movies, the Rutger Hauer. And this one's going to break my heart, Griff, because there's a certain person that we love in this movie that's been relegated to goon status, which...
Joan Chen?
No, not Joan Chen. But we'll talk about that later. It's Blind Fury, the American take on the Blind Swordsman Zatoichi series.
Oh, shit. That's on the Criterion Collection. I got to watch some of that shit.
Starring Rutger Hauer.
Mm.
So that's so next week. Rutger Hauer goes out with a bang with Blind Fury. See you then, and keep it warm.